And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from the XL Energy Center, along with Bart Archer. I'm Pete Wagner. It's high school hockey, live and on the air at themnhockey.tv. Thanks for joining us here this evening. We've had a thrilling afternoon. It started with a 4-2 win by the Blaine Bengals over the White Bear Lake Bears, and then a triple overtime thriller down to the last minute. In the third overtime, the Eden Prairie Eagles' Jack Jensen buries for his 35th of the season, avoiding a suspension of the game until tomorrow. And they'll move on to the semifinals to take on Blaine. And this is the first of two quarterfinal round matchups here tonight. Edina and Moorhead. Bart, we should have it, Nanny. The Spuds haven't lost since January 5.
Yeah, they've been playing some great hockey, and John Ammerman has them ready coming into this game. But this is a team that can give Edina some troubles. Moorhead teams have always had a propensity to be able to skate like the wind, plus they can bring a physical brand, but they always have, it just seems like, a solid stopgap goaltender that can come in, and I don't think this year's any different. But it promises to be a nice pace to this game. And if Moorhead can get some early success, I think that bodes very, very well for the Spuds.
Well, and speaking of that goaltender, you're mentioning Hudson Hodges. He's the real deal, Bart. I mean, this kid can flat out play the game, and he entered this thing at 15-2-1, and he's got some big numbers on the goals against and save percentage.
Well, indeed, and they've gotten better during sections as well. But Moorhead Spuds, they started 8 of their first 10 games on the road and finished 6-4. Kind of took themselves off the radar a little bit as far as state tournament conversations, but they've been playing exceptionally well, as you stated, Pete Wagner, and they are motivated. But we are going to start here pretty soon. We're about 12-15 minutes away from the drop of the puck, but after that triple overtime thriller, fans had to file out, new fans had to come back in, but what a day it's been so far.
As they like to say in the business, they had to turn the building over, Bart Archer.
Indeed they did. But it would have been pretty unusual to have a suspension where they'd pick the game up back tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I don't think anybody wanted that, but that gave both teams some motivation to finish that one in that third overtime. But it was Jack Jensen, who said, the Mr. Hockey hopeful, that finished that game off with a blast from the hash marks right in the middle. Beat a very, very good goaltender who had an exceptional game tonight. Had 60-plus saves, kept his team in the mix. But again, as you said, it's Eden Prairie that moves on to face a very difficult opponent in Blaine.
Edina Hornets, meanwhile, enter this contest with an impressive 23-2-1 record. A team that, by all, acknowledgement, has really flown under the radar as a team that's lost just 3 hockey games all year long, or 2 hockey games, 23-2-1. I mean, they have flown under the radar, Bart.
Well, indeed they have, and keep in mind one of those losses was against Chaska during a tournament, and they were up 3-0 and gave up 4 unanswered goals to drop that one to Chaska. But the other one was Hill Murray, and that was after the night previous game. They shut Hill Murray out at Aldrich Arena 3-0, but Hill Murray showed some speed and some skill and bested the Hornets in their own backyard. But those are the only 2 blemishes on this Hornet record, but they've taken on all comers, have probably arguably the toughest schedule in the state of high school hockey in Minnesota, but they've beat Minnetonka a couple times.
Two teams in here, they and Eden Prairie with the Lake Conference, and they take challenging non-conference schedules, and that puts them right into that discussion. Absolutely. So Moorhead, meanwhile, spent more time, I think, working an out-of-area schedule. They came to the Metro quite a bit the past couple of years. And they've been challenging themselves with the bigger, stronger, heavier games, and here they are right now. They have every reason to believe they can win this hockey game, and they've got the goaltending, they've got the grit, and they've got the ability to do it. Edina, on the other hand, can be such an explosive hockey team. They've got the 2 Mr. Hockey finalists on the same line, and Jet Jungles and Mason Nevers. Then they're going to bounce back with another guy that you think should be in the discussion. I don't disagree, in Liam Malmquist.
Well, there's only so many people that you can put on that list, but it's kind of a shame that somebody like Malmquist gets left behind. His line is 26, 29, 55 points. 3 power play goals, 3 shorties, 6 game winners, 3 goals in sections. So he certainly should be at least in the conversation. I just want to make sure he gets the respect that he's earned. But a couple fine reps. Jet Jungles really brings a dynamic game, and Mason Nevers, he plays the full 200 feet, and he plays it with enthusiasm, and he's a smart hockey player. So there's a lot of good things going on the Edina side, but I think the value of Edina is really driven off their back line. I think their core of defensemen are as good as any in the state, and we're going to see them on exhibition tonight.
Oh, Jordan Doffing.
But they're going to have a challenge in
Welcome
front of
aboard,
them with the Moorhead Spuds. But the Moorhead Spuds, if you look at their body of work, I mean, we've talked about the streak coming into it, but they have some players that can actually put the puck in the net. And I'm speaking of like a Nolan Westrow with 21 goals. 2-3-5 was his line during section, so he's playing actually quite well. But they have some players that can finish plays, and Edina's going to have to play probably a very solid defensive game moving forward if they're looking to play on Friday night.
Well, we're going to get to that point here, Bart. We're going to turn it down to Jim Carroll for the opening introductions of each of these teams. We were wowed by the all hockey here candidates in this past hour. I mean, I think Kresbach on Eden Prairie absolutely takes the lead with what I've seen here. I mean, it was just a thing of beauty.
Well, I know that the hair products were flying off the shelves leading up to the state tournament, and they got their money's worth on that. But we have a whole new fresh 4 teams to look at the hairstyles, but that's always kind of a nice caveat when it comes to the state tournament is the all-hair hockey teams. It's kind of fun.
It always is fun, Bart, and we love this time of the year. It's what it's all about. The Spuds have stepped out of the ice. Now the Hornets are stepping back onto the ice as well. As they will work their way around the rink, we'll get the introductions, and we're going to be sending this right downstairs to our very own Jim Carroll, who will take over the pronunciation. He was confirming right up to the moment when we went on the air that it's Loudon Hogue and not Hogg.
Hogue.
Confirmed.
Right.
I told you that.
Yeah. Only a couple months ago.
Jordan
I think I've been pretty good about that.
You in my digest, or my diary, did you know that? Yeah, I wrote about it.
He's talking about the hockey diary.
We mentioned you on our podcast. It's good stuff. How do you get up here? Because you're a referee or what? Oh, okay.
Fran knows me, Julie knows me.
Everybody knows Doff.
It's been so long since Jordan Doffing has been up here. I mean, he used to sit right below us here in the back row of the Al Shaver press box. It was absolutely. I still repost that too.
That's a good one.
Now, actually, so he was stretching his neck and it looked like he was sleeping. Oh, let's throw it downstairs for Jim Carroll.
Our third AA quarterfinal features the champions of Section 8 with a record of 21-6-1, the Moorhead Spuds. Against the champions of Section 6 with a record of 24-2-1, the Edina Hornets. Now, let's meet the Spuds.
Boy, the
Senior
Bluebirds
forward
came
number
out for
2,
that one.
Thomas Horan.
Bart, we got a comment. We got the Nike headband
Junior
here.
defenseman number 3,
Oh,
Luke Grammer.
That's a whole new variable.
Senior forward number 4, Isaac Heckemeyer Howe.
Ooh, came in hard.
Junior forward number 5, Kai Holm.
I like that when they come in hard. That's
Senior
that's got
forward number 7,
personality.
Nolan Westra. Senior forward number 10, Kyler Clevin.
Ooh, nice stash. The pillar. Oh,
Senior
he came
forward
in
number
with a
11,
little
Gavin Fulmer.
snowplow stop for Kyler Clevin.
Sophomore defenseman
I'll
number
be curious
12,
to see
Grant
what the Hornets
Frisch.
go with. We had every Eden Prairie Eagle thank their mom,
Junior
dad,
defenseman
grandma, and
number 13,
grandpa or
McCoy
grandmother. One of the
Redwire.
combo.
Where's the love for Dad?
I don't see any thank you here's. I see.
Junior forward number 14, Cullen Jess.
Let's see what we got here. I mean, this is just.
Senior
There's a
defenseman
high
number
mom.
16,
Another
Nick
Nike
Searles.
headband. I can't believe
Junior
that's allowed.
forward
Are
number
they an
18,
official
Carter
sponsor of
Johnson.
Adidas?
Right.
Oh,
Nice
God.
Gemini Athletic jerseys, though.
Junior
that right?
forward number
Yeah,
19,
that's right,
Michael
Chris Bonvino.
Overbo.
The headbands are going to get themselves
Junior
some
forward
play,
number
I think,
20,
on the
Lucas
final
Fear.
hockey hair team. This is the final one, Bart.
There it is.
Junior defenseman number 21,
Yeah, it's run its
Cade
course.
Moylanen.
We all know they're trying too hard now.
Yep.
Junior defenseman number 24, Wyatt Gunkel. Sophomore forward number 26, Max Dronin. Junior forward number 27, Caden Triggs. Junior goalie number 31, Hudson Hodges. And senior goalie number 33, Ethan Miller. The assistant coach is Tony Kunka. Head coach is John Ammerman, the Moorhead Spuds. Now let's meet the Hornets. Sophomore goalie number 1, Loden Hogue. Junior defenseman number 2, Jake Boltman. Sophomore defenseman number 4, Nick Williams. Senior defenseman number 6, Drew Bishop.
The Hornets almost look like they could play for the Cadets with these haircuts.
Senior forward number 7, Liam Malmquist.
I mean, seriously, all high and tight.
High and
except
tight.
Here comes Mommy.
Junior defenseman number 8, Gunnar Johnson. Senior forward number 9, Peter Colby. Junior forward number 10, Mark Overman. Junior forward number 11, Grant Morton. Junior forward number 12, Cole Kavanaugh. Senior forward number 14, Michael Shoemaker.
Why do I feel like Chorsky's going to bring
Junior
something?
forward number 15, Luke Rugemer.
I don't know.
We're going to
I
find
feel
out
it.
soon enough.
Here it comes. Something's going to happen.
Senior forward number 17, Brett Chorsky.
See what he does. The big fella.
Senior forward number
He played
18,
it
Mason
chill.
Nevers.
Played it the right way.
Kurt Giles would never allow it.
Right.
Sophomore forward number 19, Jackson Borst. Senior defenseman number 20, Mike Vorlicki. Senior defenseman number 21, Mason Reiners. Senior forward number 22, Jet Jungles.
Caterpillar for Reiners. He had a little JFM
Senior
on
forward
it,
number
too.
23,
Little lip
Kevin
sweater.
Delaney.
Jungle's not afraid to flip it.
And senior goalie number 30, Jack Wolf.
Wolf with a stash as well. Wow. The mustache, the Caterpillar.
The assistant coaches are
Just
Dave
straight
Twilliger and Greg
JFM on that thing,
Aslickson.
too.
Head coach is
Just
Kurt
darken that baby
Giles,
right.
the
Right.
Edina Hornets.
Kurt Giles, 401, 123, and 20. Very impressive.
Here tonight's
Looks
game
very
officials on the
focused,
line.
too.
John Benoit, Drew Walters, your referees
I
are
got
Joe
news for
Oberg
you.
and Eric.
He's not messing around.
No, he never does.
Ladies and gentlemen, this
All right, here we go. National anthem time. We're going to face it off in a matter of 2 minutes.
All right.
More coming up right after this. All right, folks, here we go. It's showtime. It's the start of the evening session. The Edina Hornets and the Moorhead Spuds. Hornets will be moving from right to left across your screen dial or whatever you're going with here. They're wearing their white, gold, and green trimmed unis with the green pants that I know Matt Harrington loves so much. He's a big Hornet fan. He, of course, is writing the story. We'll see what kind of a nice little angle he has there. Jordan, good to see you, buddy. We'll see what kind of angle he has for us there. And then the Moorhead Spuds will have the black, white, and orange trim on theirs. So it's business as usual between these two teams. State tournament time, they both know it very well.
Well, and I'm sure Coach Ammerman has them well versed on the Edina Hornets and their plan of attack. Edina likes to get on early, first 3 minutes. If they can punch one in, it really changes the complexion. And I believe it's over 20 periods of the season so far. Edina scored within the first 3 minutes of a period or even more to close one out. So I think the first 3 to 5 minutes very important for the Moorhead Spuds, as it is for obviously the Edina Hornets. But I think that the longer that Moorhead can keep Edina off the scoreboard, the more confidence they're going to get, and it bodes very, very well for a chance for success tonight. But they have their hands full against the #1 seeded Edina Hornets. Pete, the Edina Hornets averaging 5.3 goals for and a paltry 1.92 against, where the Moorhead Spuds averaging about 3.5 goals and giving up about 2.3 goals against. But throw the numbers out the window. This is a whole new season.
It is a whole new season. We saw that. Henry Welsh was single-handedly responsible, in my opinion, for taking what looked to be about a 6-2 game and turning it into a 3-2 overtime affair.
Yeah, he played quite well. Both goaltenders are going to be called upon tonight.
And we're underway here at center ice. It's going to be Reiners to play in, cut off by Hodges behind the Moorhead net. Hornets control out front. Jungles a quick shot. Oh, they don't mess around. This top line of Edina works it deep off the end boards, and there's Jungles with a quick shot from the slot. Yeah,
and that was from the right hash too, but that's exactly what Edina does. It was Nevers that got on the puck early, put it out in front. Jungles, nice redirect, but a nice save by Hodges on that one. Right out of the gate too.
Back into the center ice area. It's going to be Boltman who plays this one to his partner, Mason Reiners, off the stick of Shoemaker. He's going to stay with it. Drop pass. They play it down low. There's a shot that goes through. Shoemaker is bothered on the play. That's Henkemeyer Howe. Out of the right wing side, there's a wrister. Blocker pad save made by Hogue. And the Hornets will come along and try to make the play, but turning back up is Clevin. One-timer from the line. That misses the mark in front. Oh, and Hogue makes a pad save. Gets the left pillow out of that one. Good aggressive save by the Edina goaltender. Now it's Boltman across the line. Jungles can fly. In on goal. The Mr. Hockey finalist scores! Oh, it's taken Gandy from a baby. Oh, he went on the guitar solo. Played a riff on the celly.
Well, it was Jungles that actually scored that one and a big goal, but he works his edges quite well. And for Jungles, that's going to be goal number 30, so a nice plateau for that young man. But Edina came down with some early pressure. Then Moorhead came down and put some trying moments on Loudon Hogue, the Edina goaltender. But in transition, it was Edina that pushed the puck up the ice, put it on Jungles' stick coming up the left side, and he just worked his edges, went in tight, and went 5-hole on Hudson Hodges. Edina early 1-0 lead just 57 seconds into this period.
Jet Jungles, 30 goals on the season, and you know, his dad asked me to make a highlight reel for him for the Mr.
Where do you
Hockey,
start?
because they got to have highlight reels
Sure.
for Mr. Hockey. And I said, well, Keith, you know what we got is he's scoring, and moving the puck and coming up in the play and scoring.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what he does.
Yeah,
you know?
plenty of material to draw from.
I said just all kind of look the same. He's such a steady player. Delaney's shot, that was a great example of his goal-scoring touch down low. Terrific stuff there. Now Vorlicki up at center. He's going to come away with it now. Chorsky's bumped at the line. Handled now and sent back through everyone, and the length of the ice it goes for an icing call. 15:35 to go in the period.
But Peter was Loudon Hogue that actually initiated that one to put the puck on Boltman. But if he didn't make those saves, we wouldn't be talking about that Jungles goal. So both goaltenders have had a chance to get a feel for the puck. Both of them haven't had to make some challenging saves, but Edina with an early lead.
Spuds play that one to center. That was off Fear. And now they'll play this one across the line. Kramer is there as he's going to push this one behind the net. Worked on by Gunnar Johnson. Now outlet Morton to the right wing side for Rugemer. The big right winger. Up the wall he goes. It on goal as Hodges turns that aside. Poked off the end boards by Searles. As it's the Moorhead Spuns now with Kramer with it. Looks to play this one at center. Ooh, it's Bishop that tried to touch that one ahead for Nevers. It on goal as it's Hodges to stick it over for Kramer to the right side. Oh, big check thrown there, and it's going to be sent right back through. Another check thrown. Reiners with it. Outlets, touch pass, Jungles look for Nevers in the neutral. That's away from Shoemaker. They've kind of shown different looks on these lines, and Shoemaker's been on this line. You've seen Malmquist be on this line. You've seen Delaney jump up here a little bit with this group.
I like the Shoemaker fit. He brings a little physicality to this line and creates some space for the other guys.
Spit and vinegar. Now up high it goes. Shoemaker's shot knocked away from Hodges. Chorsky was there off the back door. The big reach poked away from him. Jungles now comes away with it. Lays back down for Chorsky. Chorsky sends it up to the line. Reiner's wrist shot misses the mark. It's a Hornet team that beat the #1 ranked Minnetonka Skippers twice. they're a little bit edgy. I think they feel like they've been kind of blown off in the discussions and not really taken seriously as a top team. And you can see the way they're starting right now. They've been on the puck almost the entire period here, the first 3.5 minutes. There's Delaney, forces it through. They jam and jam and jam. No goal, as that one is waved off back in behind the net.
Well, I think the Moorhead Spuds defensemen are on notice. Edina's very good at funneling to the net with numbers, and that's exactly what they did. They forced Hodges to make a save, and then there was 2 or 3 sticks from the Edina Hornet forwards trying to poke it and push him over that goal line. So Moorhead Spuds really going to have to be diligent as far as blocking out, limiting second chances. But Edina can come at you from all angles, so the forwards are going to have to kind of sag back a little bit and help their defensemen out if they're going to have success tonight.
I'm Layton, Communications Director of the Minnesota State High School League and a 1982 graduate of Minneapolis Roosevelt High School. You are listening to the Minnesota State High School League State Tournament. We are the league.
Minnesota State High School League, responsible for being the governing body of all of this great high school hockey action and other sports that you see. And they had a tough decision to make, Bart. They're going to suspend that game, that triple overtime game, and possibly play it beginning tomorrow at 8 a.m. I mean, if I'm the coaches, I'm like pleading each other, let's just get this figured out.
Right.
Because I think it would be tough to have that game, go back, go to bed at a decent hour, get up early in the morning, play, and then have that time between the game. So now you can have a true semifinal. To me, it's a nightmare scenario.
Well, what if you go into the consolation bracket too? You know,
well, that changes that whole deal.
Just jumping over to Mariucci.
That'd be a 10 o'clock game.
Yeah, exactly. But again, we didn't get to that point. In fact, somebody tweeted that question out as far as that scenario, and we thought we were kind of kidding, and we kind of mocked it a little bit, and then all of a sudden it became a reality. So, boy, what great motivation to end that game by putting that in front of them. But ended with under a minute to go in that final overtime. So. Happy they brought that to resolution so they didn't have to come back tomorrow in the morning.
Well, there was one game, I remember Minnetonka in '85. I think they had a suspended game. There's a shot by the Hornets off the draw that's deflected up and over the top of the goal. Shots on goal here in the early going 7-2 in favor of the Hornets.
Well, and the 2 shots that Moorhead got were pretty good ones. So Loud and Hogue made some good saves, but Edina likes to swarm, no pun intended, but they're very, very good at going to the net, and that's unique to a certain degree as far as the depth of players that can bring the puck to the net, and that's where I think Edina stands alone.
Carter Johnson on the draw for the Spuds. Hornets get it off Chorsky's stick. He's a good face-off man. Hodges sets up behind the net. That was Searles that was there, but Chorsky gets in and cuts off that clearing attempt up the wall, and now it's going to be the Spuds who win the battle eventually, and it's bumped off the boards by Carter Johnson. Plays it in deep. Borlicki is there. This is where the Hornet defensemen will be challenged. Off the end boards, can they continue their quick transitional game and get that puck up to their wingers? And on the move, there's a chance in front. Hogue stays firm on the post, and a penalty coming up. That one down low. It's going to be a hooking call, and that'll be on Edina's Brett Chorsky. Yeah,
it's going to be Chorsky, a stick penalty for the Edina Hornets. Really an opportune time for Coach John Emmerman to put his power play out there. Power play is a room for improvement for the Spuds, 16.7 during the regular season, 14.3 during sections, but they're going to get a great opportunity to tie this score face off to Hogue's right.
And the Spuds get it. Nice job up to the line. Westra was there. Now they play it near side for Henkemeyer. Howe will take it down into the corner, lays it back up to the line. On it now, it's Clevin. Clevin gives that back off. Quick puck movement to Kramer. They look back to the slot that's deflected away by Boltman, who plays the body there. Back up to the right point with Clevin. Left circle it is. Blocker pad save. That one's turned aside and sent the length of the ice. Back into the Moorhead zone it goes.
Edina getting some fresh legs out on the ice. Nice save by Hogue to keep that out, and rebound went to a good area. That's a good sign for Coach Kurt Giles.
Chuck thrown there. You could hear the thunder. And now it's going to be handled by the Spuds to the right wing side for Westra. Westra will try to lay that one ahead to the slot area. That hit Williams. And then now Williams will play this one back up to the right side. Guess is there. Shot, save, rebound. Another save by Hogue. He's answered the bell early here. 2 or 3 good ones right out of the chute. Now it's the Spuds once again. They look back up to the line. Touch pass left wing side. Top of the circle. Oh, they had a man open back door. Henkemeyer Howe. That might have gone off one of the Hornet defensemen, either Vorlicki or Williams. Now it's going to be Jungles fanned on it, couldn't get a handle. He gets pushed off the puck, but over to help him out is Williams with 33 to go in the power play, 11:41 to go in the period. The shots on goal have now narrowed to 7-5 in favor of Edina, as it's the Spuds with the power play making things happen here. Gregor with it now to the right wing side. It's going to be Johnson. His shot is turned aside by Hogue. There's another wrist shot, misses the mark. Carter Johnson for the Spuds on this one. Up to the line it goes, played down by Gunkel, and the Hornets, Nevers will get a handle on it and chip it back into the Moorhead zone with 4 to go in the power play. Chorsky stepping back on the ice shortly. Up front, it's going to be Malmquist and Nevers, as Chorsky will take this puck right off the bench. He is pickpocketed, though, by Fear. And it'll be a battle in front of the penalty box area. Chorsky leaves that one off for Reiners. Now it's Malmquist with it. Malmquist buries his shoulder, takes it wide. Wanted to get high to Boltman, but that deflected right onto a Moorhead stick, and it's played back off the left wing boards. Moorhead to center, cut off by Edina. Now the Spuds in control with it. Across the line, checked and spun on the play is Droman. Cut off by Hogue, as it's going to be Boltman to swing it to the right wing side for Malmquist. Boltman follows up the play. Nice job there as he steps up in it. As he'll look and turn, that shot was deflected. That one gets away from a player. Now it's going to be Williams' wrister. That one hits traffic. Delaney chases down to the right wing side. Hornets in the offensive zone. Back in behind the net, directly behind Hodges. It's down goes Frazier, or Malmquist, if you will, as he lost that battle. Played rink wide. Stepping in is Clevin for the Spuds as he dances from left to right. Bumps into a nice check there by Delaney across the line. It's Malmquist getting on the length of a shift here. He won't want to get in the fight if he's in the NHL at this juncture. Spins and plays that one through. Nearly went spinorama on the backhand for a tally. Now it's Williams' shot that's blocked in the right circle. Back up the zone. They go pickpocket. Nifty job there by Colby. Now it's going to be handled by Gramer of the Spuds. Across the line they go with it. Oh, and a big check thrown there by Rugemer as he got into his man Westra. Hornets back up ice with Vorlicki. The big defenseman carries this one deep back in behind the net. Vorlicki looks up high. That's going to be on the stick of Haran, who comes away with it and turns this one back up the left wing side through center. Nice stick on the poke check there by Williams. Knocks it off his, but it lands right back on a Spud player's stick, and it's sent right back in. Up and out of play by Gregor.
Well, Edina put the energy line out, and that's kind of Colby and the Rugemers in Morton as well. And they can not only carry the puck, but they can skate quite well. But they bring a little physical element to this Edina Hornet attack, which is something that might have been missing in previous seasons. But Edina with some good energy. Malmquist had a really nice shift, but getting back, Moorhead had a really good power play. A lot of deep possession, a lot of good chances. But Edina with wasn't a notable kill, but they kept the digit off the scoreboard, so I guess we'll deem it successful. But Moorhead seems to have settled down a little bit since that power play, but Loudon Hogue's made a couple pretty exceptional saves.
Lisa Lissamore, Associate Director for the Minnesota State High School League and a 1978 graduate of St. Paul Central High School. You are listening to the Minnesota State High School League State Tournament. We are the league.
And his great and fine product, RJM Construction. You can check them out at rjmconstruction.com, from the tree rink to the rock at the St. Louis Park Rec Center and the remodel at the Hopkins Pavilion. Great stuff done there. Tradition Company, 7 companies in one. They do it all for you, from home buying to mortgage to wealth management, capital, banking, and all of it. Traditionco.com. Sportsman's Guide, they got a big show coming up to 60% off. That'll be at their Beyond the Pond event on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday from 10 to 12, and also Brew Pub Pizza and lots of matzah. We'll hear from everybody between periods. Thanks for joining us here tonight in all of the season and weekend. It's been a terrific season for us here. Record number of games we've been doing. We've been busy and having a blast.
Yeah, indeed. We're having a lot of fun, and this is kind of accumulation, so a little bit melancholy, so to speak, but one thing I've been impressed with the Spuds is their efficient zone exits. He's done a very good forechecking team, but the Spuds have come out of their zone with some efficiency and with some ease as well, and that's a really good sign if you're Coach Ammerman.
Indeed it is. As you know, they've settled in as the Hornets had that very sizzling fast, snappy start.
As they usually do.
Now it's Boltman with it, plays off the boards, back up into the center ice area. Gunkel handled and played by the Spuds up high at the line. Gunkel took that one back from his partner, Luke Gramer. Check that's Grammer. We'll get that right yet here, Bart Archer. Grammar now on it.
You might get it right. I'll probably mess it up a couple
I'll
times.
say it wrong the first time, then correct it, and then you'll just stick with the first.
Right.
Work at the consistency angle.
Yeah.
Reiner's with it. They don't give you pronunciation guides for every team, and it's hard to get to these coaches at this time of the year, as we all know. There's Jungles. He's dangerous. Ooh, poked off his stick.
Slash.
Gregoire is going to go. There goes Hogue to the bench. Here comes Williams down the left wing side as he's going to sling that one back into the right corner. Malmquist with it. Malmquist from the top of the right point. Walks and plays backdoor, and that was Nevers, who had an absolute one-time, a golden opportunity, whiffed and missed it. So the slashing penalty will give the Hornets the power play.
Well, nice work by Malmquist to hold the puck in the zone. He saw Nevers on the weak side and tried to do a one-timer. No mulligans in hockey, but I'm sure Mason Nevers would love to have that one back, as it was Hodges that was playing the initial left side. And but Jungles came in, almost mimicked the initial goal first part of the period, put Edina ahead, but took a slash, hence power play, and that's going to be Gregor that's going to go to the box for a slash from Moorhead. So again, a great opportunity for Edina, and they're hovering around the 33% on the power play, so very formidable. Ooh.
Well, there's a shot turned aside by Hodges. That's shot number 10 for Edina.
2 minutes for slashing. Time of penalty 9:34.
Gregoire, a slash minor, you heard? There's a shot by Vorlicki, handled up high.
Well, confident goaltender just outside the blue received that one, but nice shot by Vorlicki. He didn't take the big windup, didn't try to do the big clapper, just put a good shot on goal, but not a second chance opportunity as Hodges held on to that one. Face off to his right, 140 left in the penalty to the Spuds.
Face off win by the Hornets. Nevers, back up it goes. Vorlicki guides that one down to the right wing side. There's some room to work for Jungles. Back up to Vorlicki. Goes from right to left to the top of the left circle. Backdoor, they go down low. Ooh, they're working it through the seams. Vorlicki's shot doesn't get through. It's blocked. Puck rolls. Bumped off the boards. Malmquist! Ooh, a turnaround opportunity. Sizzles through the goal crease. That thing had juice. Now it's Vorlicki, left circle. Jungles touches down to Malmquist. Back up for Vorlicki. This power play looks like it's in the show. Wow, they moved that thing with authority. And it's cleared and sent the length of the ice. Nice play by Haran for the Spuds as they get a change.
Well, Edina employing 1 defense and 4 forwards, so they're trying to take advantage of this situation with a man up.
Off the skates of Jungles, it's going to be handled now by Clevin as they'll play this one off the boards and sent back in behind. Hogue will cut that off for Vorlicki, who will now look back up to his left, and now the middle he goes. Dishes off to the right wing side. It's going to be Nevers that's just offside at the line. 32 to go in the power play.
Well, that was Jungles that snuck in a little early. It was Nevers that was kind of taking his time, waiting for some play to develop, but it was Jungles that snuck in. So Edina's going to change their forward units, and Coach Ammerman content with his penalty killers out there. Been a pretty good kill so far. Edina's got some possession, but they haven't got into that scoring area, so a pretty successful kill so far for the Spuds.
All the way back into the Edina zone it goes with 24 to go. Each team has had a power play here. Spuds 0 for 1 with their man advantage. Hornets with time ticking on theirs. It's Delaney down low. Railed off the puck, and a nice play by Gunkel off the glass and sent back into Edina turf. That was cut off by Hogue. And now it's going to be Reiners. Too far for Delaney. Is on the ice. Steps Gregoire, and they're 5-on-5 with 5:17 to go in the first. Pretty quick moving period with a great tempo. Ooh, Reiners has his stick slashed right out from underneath him.
That's going to be a penalty as well.
I think that's going to go on Grammer.
Well, not intended in that respect. He got a little aggressive on that one, but the stick did indeed leave the hands of the Edina defenseman, so it's going to be right back on the power play. They're going to take advantage of this. It looks like it's going to be a TV timeout so they can rest their ones again, or they might go back with the Chorsky line, but it's nice to have those kind of choices. But Moorhead Spuds not doing themselves any favors by running to the box early in this first period, or late in this first period.
So, Bart, your thoughts in the early going of this one so far? I mean, what are you seeing?
Well, I've been really more impressed with the Spuds as far as how they're getting out of their zone. I thought that was going to be a key for this team, because Edina is very tenacious on the forecheck. They take good angles. They can play physical. They really put pressure on, and their defense actually hold the offensive blue line. But they've had some pretty clean zone exits. But then it gets a little muddy during the middle ice in the neutral zone. But so far, I've been impressed with the Spuds and how they've handled their own zone. Edina's getting their chances, but Hodges has stepped up all but one time so far. Shots on goal: 11 for Edina, 7 for Moorhead. 7 is a pretty big number, and some of those were pretty good opportunities for Moorhead Spuds. So I've been impressed with Loudon Hogan, the way he showed up today to play. But Edina with a 1-0 lead, and that was just early. But things have kind of settled down since that 57-second mark when Jungle scored his 30th.
They're showing the crowd. Again, it's starting to fill in. It always peaks right about the start of the third period when you have the carryover from the next game.
Just not a lot of people dressed in the green tonight supporting the Hornets, but it seems like one section roots for Edina and the rest of them are rooting for the Spuds. So we call that business as usual down here at the X. I say it with a smile. So Edina back on the power play again. 4 forwards, 1 defense.
Williams with it, plays it over to the right wing side. Nevers now. It's Hornets power play, moves it quick, and they're not standing still. Right now they are, actually. Now let's look for Chorsky out front. They've got the big frame down low. What is he? He must be about 6'8" in skates. He's high school's version of Zdeno Chara, but playing forward.
I think he's better than
the thick neck. I mean, Chara is a specimen.
He's got the big stick zone too.
It's insane. Now it's Nevers, but big compliments there for Brett Chorsky. Nevers' pass was blocked and turned aside. Carter Johnson now on the move. He can fly. Williams, though, stride for stride. Beautiful poke check by the sophomore defenseman. And he bumps it off the boards for the oncoming Mason Nevers, who gets it back to Williams. By the way, Nick Williams has been playing terrific hockey for the Edina Hornets, especially the last third of the season. He's been really good off into the playoff season. Malmquist with it. Walks this one up high. For those of you that don't know, we do all of the Edina home games and some of their roads, so we've been very familiar with this team. Malmquist now from the right dot. Loads it up, sends a shot in on goal. That's handled by Ethan Miller.
Well, it was a pretty good shot from the right dot from Malmquist. Right person, right spot, but it was a good save by Hodges on that one. He held on to it as well, but it's just good to see an Edina Hornet take a shot. They're moving the puck around, but you still have to get the shots on the goal. Malmquist took it upon himself, put a good shot on. 29 seconds left in the penalty to Gramer for the Spuds. Been a pretty decent kill so far.
Out of the circle goes Clevin, and Chorsky pickpockets the draw. Nice play by Nevers to keep at the line. Jungle's back in behind. They find their man Malmquist backdoor. Jungle's nice save by Hodges. Ooh, he was right on the post, had the stick down, did what he was supposed to, and made the save. Now Nevers from the left dot, 12 to go in the power play. Nevers scores! Mason Nevers, another Mr. Hockey finalist on this roster. 2-0 Edina.
Wow, it was a really nice sequence by Edina. Showed good patience to work the puck around the periphery a little bit. But then it got on Mason Nevers' stick. He had his back to the goal, but he turned and went to his left and created some space, went out to the middle. A lot of traffic in front of Hodges, but Nevers sniped that one from high in the slot. So now it's 2-0 power play goal for Mason Nevers. And for Nevers, that's going to be goal number 20 and his 8th on the power play. So another milestone reached by an Edina Hornet forward. 20 is a big number, and Nevers more of a setup guy, but he just showed that he can finish, and that's one of the reasons why he's a Mr. Hockey finalist. 2-0 now. The challenge, 3:19 to go in the first period, but Moorhead's got to get on their horse a little bit and get some offensive zone time and get some pressure on Hogue again.
76 goals scored combined between Nevers, Jungles, and Malmquist. It's
impressive.
a nice little campaign, isn't it?
It's almost like the two Blaine Bengals.
Oh, yeah. Donnie Rickles.
No relation to.
Of course, we're not. Had to throw that out there. We'll see them
I
tomorrow
liked
take on Eden Prairie. Who knows what that game's going to do? That's going to be an interesting one to open up the.
I thought White Bear Lake played pretty well, but Blaine showed why they're the number 2 seed.
There's a shot that's blocked and played up to the right wing side for Westra. His pass was deflected away. Now it's going to be poked away and handled now by Clevin. Rugemer was there. That gets through some skates, and it's going to be handled now by Gunkel out of the zone with 2:32 to go in the first. Hornets have that 14-7 shots on goal advantage here in the first period of the 2-0 lead on the all-important scoreboard.
Well, I think possession, they have a pretty much a 2-1 advantage as well. But again, Moorhead hanging in there pretty well. Edina's doing a good job of getting the puck to the open man, but they're moving their feet. When Edina moves their feet, they're very difficult to contain. Again, Moorhead's done a pretty good job, but down 2-0, they have to get some offensive zone time, Pete.
Up in the air at the line. Hammering on Vorlicki was Overbo, and the hand pass will bring the face off.
Yeah, and the gloves got up a little bit on Vorlicki, but he was reeling back. But he's one of those stalwart defenders that that Edina brags about. He does so many things well, and I just love his game because he not only can provide offense, but he's a shutdown defender that plays a physical brand as well when needed. Really a lot of checks in the right boxes for Mike Vorlicki.
And on goal as Hogue makes the save off the face-off. And will face off again to his right with 2:17 to go.
Well, it was Caden Triggs that actually did that. Kind of a shallow angle shot, but Hogue finally got some action, made a nice save, face off to his right. 2:17 left in the first period.
Here comes Malmquist off the draw as he's going to bump the boards. Tries to go inside out on his man Gregoire as it's going to be played back behind to the left corner. Chorsky protects the puck as he's hit on the play. Nice play by Overbo to keep that one alive. Now it's going to be played to the far right corner. Delaney scoots over to get that one. That one goes through the goal mouth area. Back up to the line. Williams' wrister hits blocked. And now it's going to be sent right back up across the center red line. Shoveled in on goal, stopped by Hogue. Oh, he's barreled there. We'll see what kind of extracurriculars we have now.
Well, I don't think it was malicious, but he did get him pretty good, and Hogue is still down. I think he's going to be
fine.
okay, with all that padding. But again, it got everybody a little bit excited. But to back it up, hit the rewind button for a little bit. Hudson Hodges, goaltender for the Spuds, lost his stick, and the defender gave him his stick, and his goal stick was laying right in front. Edina had a pretty good opportunity to expose him in a vulnerable moment, but a nice zone exit by Moorhead to put the pressure on Loudon Hogue. But it looks like he's going to go to the box.
GTI, I'm sure.
And I think that's Overbo that's going to go to the box. Yeah, goaltender.
People will argue that he got helped in, but you'll watch this. He's coming hard. There was no way did he get helped in there.
No.
Not even close.
In fact, he put a little emphasis
Absolutely.
on it as well. So appropriate call for the appropriate
actually
time.
tried to hold him back.
Yeah, indeed. But unsuccessfully. But Moorhead Spuds aren't doing themselves any favor. Just 1:45 left in this first period. 2-minute penalty on the board.
Yes. In the 80s, that never would have been called. Just so you know.
No, but there would have been some extracurriculars after the whistle. I'm sure of
And the goaltender would have
that.
been involved because they're a lot tougher back then.
Absolutely. But Kurt Giles looking for a little explanation. Referee went over, showed the
I don't
respect.
know if he wanted more.
Yeah, I don't know what else he needed to qualify, but they got a power play. A great opportunity for Edina to boost the lead to 3.
Vorlicki now back over for Nevers. Wrist shot that's blocked. Charging for Overbo. Now it's going to be Nevers back up to the line with Vorlicki. Loads it up. Wrister right into the midsection of Hodges as he reads that one quite well from the long point shot from the left wing.
Well, I like the way the Spuds actually cleared the sight lines for their goaltender. They blocked Edina out, so gave their goaltender a good chance to see that puck. He held on to it, no second chance.
Hornets now control. Nevers, top of the left circle, guides it down to the line, gets it back. Plays that one rink wide. The Karam plays up to the line. Jungles bumps the wall. Now it's Chorsky, touch pass. Vorlicki, top of the right circle. They'll walk this one to the dot. They cycle it down off the end line. Now it's Malmquist with it. Malmquist looks for Chorsky. Had a stick lifted. Nice defensive play. Chorsky plays this one up the wall. Nice job by the defense there. The man that lifted Chorsky's stick was Westra. Or was that Haran? Haran was the defenseman who's in working over Vorlicki, who goes down in the play. Nice little forecheck there by the Spuds. They continue to fight for possession. 36 to go in the third period and 50 to go in the man advantage. Vorlicki looks up ice. He has Malmquist with him, but he's just going to take the space he has. Now Malmquist, the left-hand shot, walks around his defense and on goal, and puts that one up over the top of the net. Nearly found it there, Chorsky. Now it's Malmquist, back door. Nice save, Hodges. That's off Nevers. Bounding puck to the neutral zone as it's Vorlicki. He's going to have to wait on that one as Malmquist was pinned up along and hemmed along the end boards. 7 to go in the period, and that's going to be an offside on the Hornets.
Well, Malmquist just couldn't get out of the zone, but Vorlicki put the puck up to Malmquist. He just didn't get his skates on the other side of the blue line, so hence they call the whistle. It's going to come all the way down to the Edina zone, so the intent, they call it an intentional offside. So faceoff is going to be to Loudenhoek's right. As you said, 6.9 seconds left in this period, but Moorhead with a great opportunity, even being a man down, they have a great chance to win this faceoff and put some pressure on the Edina goaltender.
Face-off win, shot from up high, stuck out of there by Hogue. And it's going to be the Spuds off the boards. They'll try and get one more shot on goal. They can't. 17-10, your shots on goal. Hornets will have the power play carry over for 16 seconds. Loudon Hogue is perfect in his debut at the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. Hodges under siege by an Edina power play in 5-on-5. Very good on his end of the ice, too. The goaltending has been sterling here tonight. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to have the start of the next period coming up for you. We're going to hear from RJM Construction and also from Brew Pub Pizza and Latza Matza. We'll continue with more right after this.
Knowledge base there that is expanded here today.
What have you found in terms of municipalities, whether it's cities, not many privately owned rinks here, as far as their needs and what they need? Obviously there's a budget constraint, but you have to make money too to keep your doors open. How have you been able to work with the municipalities, and have you found that to be an easy process?
It's definitely an easy process, and what we've found over the years is they're building facilities that are 50-plus year facilities. So they're really building for the longevity and the operational efficiency. Really enjoy working with the cities and building them something that will last into the future.
Can we talk a little bit structurally about the rock? Do you care if we go there for a second?
I wasn't directly.
Okay, we'll not use that. Let me pause for a second so I can see the break. Let me see something here. Are these her notes for you or
Yeah.
not? Can I see those real
Yeah.
quick? I should have printed them out.
I wasn't.
We're cool. We're cool. So in terms of what you guys do to put together projects, there's a lot of details that go into play. I mean, it goes from refrigeration to structures to, I'm sure there's a lot of code that you got to meet as far as what has to be done. How deep into this do you have to go as an organization to make sure everything is right as you build?
So our experience, like I say, our refrigeration partners can build ice anywhere. Our job is to give them a building envelope that basically encapsulates that whole thing. Important factors, I think, goes without saying, the insulation of the structure itself. So we work with our design partners to come up with the most efficient insulation systems to house these ice boxes, as well as dehumidification units is one of the more critical components within the facility as well.
Do you find as if are there different needs in the dehumidification from facility to facility? Some are renovations, and some are build-outs. What I think, to me, just being a novice, that would be a heck of a challenge, especially with our summers.
For sure. I mean, when you're dealing with an existing building structure, you have to take that into account. Building envelopes constructed in the 60s and 70s didn't have the technology that we have out there today. So you can really run into condensation issues and things like that if the building envelope isn't technically up to code.
So when you guys take on a project, it's usually probably a bid. I'm sure that's how it works in the industry, correct?
Typically when we're working with the municipalities, we act as the construction manager. So we're involved in the process from basically the onset. We work along with our design partners, and I say that the clients get their best value with the involvement of a builder such as RJM Construction early on during the design, to have our input on cost and technology side up front during the design. I guess over time, with our involvement during the pre-construction, you can save significant amount of money during the design.
Let's talk a little bit about the tree rink that you guys worked on. I mean, it's an incredible vibe in there. Now, when you did that, did you start on the roof, or was that in the building? Can you kind of walk us through that project?
So there was interior demolition that occurred early on, but they basically built the rink facility on top of that parking structure. One of the cooler features of that project was we actually had to lift a crane on top of the roof with another crane to start erecting that facility. So that was pretty incredible means and methods, something we're really proud of.
How delicate was that? I mean, so not only are you lifting a crane with the crane, but you're on top of the demo with the crane, and you don't want to see the structure come down.
A lot of engineering involved, and a lot of pre-planning meetings and coordination with the city to block off the streets and things like that.
So then you've got the big window that is on what I believe is that kind of the southwest side of the building, something like that. And there's the tinted glass that can be controlled. Was that something that you guys were a part of? And if so, how did that all come about?
So we were involved in the pricing aspect of that during the design. Value is always at the forefront during the design and engineering, and we were definitely involved in cost solutions for that.
The locker rooms that you did at the Hopkins Pavilion, the greatest part about that project was every high school team that went in there just hated going in there because you could fit about 3 guys per room. They're so small. And then they're just massive. You could almost fit a varsity and JV team in some of those new locker rooms. Is that kind of a trend that you guys are seeing, is to get more space for locker rooms for everybody?
So there is a lot of thought put into the size of the locker rooms. As a hockey parent myself, I understand what it's like to get your kids dressed. I have a first-year mite in some of the tiny locker rooms in some of the older facilities. So that's definitely front and center of my mind, as well as our design partners.
And then in terms of other things that you're seeing, so if there were structures that were built, let's say, when I think of like the larger facilities that were maybe built in the mid-'90s and how they've evolved to today and how things have changed, has there been a going trend that you've noticed as far as some of the upgrades and features that you guys are putting into rinks right now today?
Definitely on the refrigeration systems and just the building envelope technology that's out there today. Is significantly better than it was 25 years ago. So there's a lot of thought and consideration that goes into the building envelope that houses these facilities. And another common trend that I'm seeing, a lot of the facilities that we built the initial sheet of ice for, they're adding second sheets. And it seems like some of the larger communities are all starting to add second sheets of ice and finding that benefit in their programming.
Two more questions for you here as we're rolling through the period break. To me, I would call it three-quarter outdoor rink. It's like a three-quarter indoor rink. The covered rink kind of was a trend for a little bit there. And you guys were able to really get something quite creative and look and feel for the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Can you talk about the processing that went into that and what you guys were thinking as far as vibe you were trying to pull off there?
So that was kind of I guess what I would call a centerpiece or a focal point of that facility. Something that captures kind of the old school hockey feel with the wood purlins and some of the older arenas. But yet something that's kind of nostalgic in the new outdoor games that you see in the NHL and college hockey as well. So trying to capture that all into one piece.
It's incredibly well done, and what it lends to is some really incredible acoustics, too. So when you watch a game, you get some really good sounds out of that. It's super cool. But the first thing, it's funny you say that I thought of, when I look at that roof in that building, I think of the old Minnetonka Ice Arena where they painted it up. It's too bad. But do you remember that when it was all wood?
I do. I played in that as a peewee growing up in a hockey tournament, and that's the first thing that I thought of when I saw that completed as well.
So it wasn't just me.
No.
Yeah, that's really good. And finally, as Vice President of Community, obviously the Herb Brooks Foundation is a terrific vehicle that everybody is well aware of. That's really keeping the game flowing alive and creating opportunities for everybody to be able to play the game. Can you talk about your relationship with Herb Brooks Foundation?
We are very proud to be a part of the Herb Brooks Foundation. Have been for all the time that I've been here at RJM, and definitely proud to be a part of that.
Brad, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Pete.
We'll be back with more right after this. You are between periods coverage here at the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament, and we're joined by a very special guest. He's known as Matza Matt. He from Brew Pub Pizza and Lots of Matza. Matt, thanks for joining us here today. I know you're a busy guy, and we got lots to talk about. You've got some great product and some of the best ingredients in your pizzas for sure.
Hey, thanks, Pete. Thanks for having me. Yeah, absolutely. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Really, the ingredients for a great time, whether you're listening to a hockey game or whether you're enjoying the game and you want a treat afterwards, Brew Pub Lots of Matzas are the way to go. Made with the finest ingredients, Pete. We've got the finest quality meat and veggie ingredients. We've got, of course, a couple of different varieties, too, that folks love, like the Mac Attack, which is a macaroni and cheese pizza. And then the best thing, the one thing that sets Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas apart from the rest, over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. I've never heard anybody say, whoa, hold on the cheese. That's too much cheese. So we definitely have a great amount of cheese. We've got the great sauce and that thin crust for Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas. It's the best around.
So seriously, whenever you buy a pizza from the grocery store, there's never enough cheese. But I have always known when I buy one of those, the Brew Pub Lots of Matza, I'm more than pleased, more than happy, and it is perfect. You're right, the crust totally grooves. And here's the best part is between periods, what we do know is people like to get up, they like to move around. Now is the time, the oven's already heated up, throw it in there, and it doesn't take that long to have these things out and ready because you're not baking a loaf of bread.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Hey, pizzas are the answer, whenever you're having friends over, or if it's it's a traditional Friday night pizza for the family, for mom and dad and the kids or whatever the case may be, Brew Pub Lots of Matza pizzas are the way to go. And the one thing I love about, too, it's a filling pizza. Like, you buy some of the other brands that they just, you have one piece, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're just not satisfied. With the Brew Pub Lots of Matza, man, with those ingredients, with that cheese, you have a couple of pieces, and boom, you are taken care of. It's a very hearty and just a great pizza.
Except no substitutes. The others are basically an appetizer. This is the meal. So let's talk about some of the things, that you guys do. You've got some really cool things coming up, and especially supporting law enforcement. Matt, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with that?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a local company, Pete. We've got a production facility in Maple Lake, Minnesota, so made right there. We've got a production facility in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. And one thing about Bernatello's Foods, Bernatello's is the the company that owns the brew pub Lots of Matza, and we've got other brands as well. But we really support our veterans. We really support our law enforcement. We feel that it's very important to give back to those who serve us on a regular basis, an everyday basis. And so coming up here in May during National Law Enforcement Week, we're actually going to be tag teaming with a couple of different police departments, like one down in Sioux City. We're going to tag team with the Sioux City Police Department, the Edina Police Department, and then we're going to also tag team with Wausau PD over in Wisconsin. And we're going to host an event called Pizza with Police. The public is invited to come out, purchase a slice of pizza and a soda, and then we're going to donate that money back to a nonprofit organization. For example, in Minnesota, it's going to go back to Minnesota Law Enforcement Memorial Association, and they help pay for the funerals of men and women who have lost their lives in the line of duty. So a phenomenal organization, and we love giving back to veterans as well. So again, just a couple of groups of people that we really love to take care of.
That is absolutely incredible and great stuff by your organization. And how can anybody that's listening to this support and be a part of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can first of all go to your local grocery store and pick up a brew pub Lots of Matza pizza all over the Twin Cities area, actually all over the upper Midwest, extend down to Kansas City, North Dakota, South Dakota, etc. So check us out online too. You can go to bernatellos.com or brewpubpizza.com. And first of all, get yourself a delicious pizza, and then check out our webpage and find out when we're going to be at an event near you. We do a lot of country music festivals during the summer. We're going to be involved in a number of different things in Minnesota. So we're really excited to continue to get out there, shake hands, and let people experience a brew pub Lots of Matza pizza.
Fire that webpage past us real quick.
Yep, it's brewpubpizza.com. So you can go to brewpubpizza.com, and then you'll be able to follow us there. And, of course, on Facebook, too, at brewpubpizza.
And then finally, those of you that are part of youth programs know that the Brewpub Lots of Matza, Bernatello's, obviously the parent company, provides a great fundraising opportunity. And a lot of our listeners are parents that are on boards or coaches or leaders of youth organizations. And we're back underway here to start the second period. The Hornets moving from left to right. Meanwhile, the Spuds killing off a penalty for 3 more seconds. I got caught kind of napping here. Are we okay with the graphics? I mean, all hell broke loose. All right, we're good. Are we on the air? Houston.
We don't have a problem. Well, now we're back to 5-on-5. Quick rundown on the scoring. Edina opened the scoring at the 57-second mark. It was Jungles with his 30th from Boltman, and then at the 13:41 mark, it was Nevers with his 20th from Vorlicki, and Jungle shots on goal. That period, Moorhead with 10. Edina was 17. But Moorhead got through that penalty kill. Now face off at center ice. Moorhead wins.
Hornets control. Moorheads gains it back across the line now with Henkemeyer Howe. He's checked on the play. His dad, of course, is the coach at Concordia Moorhead. Did you know that?
No, a little fun fact.
A little MIAC action for you there, Bart Archer.
Right on, a little fun fact.
You learn it all right here. The MNHockey.tv. We've got the game recaps, live scoring right now. We're keeping all tourney statistics. One-timer! And a big save made by Hodges. Got the diary for you. I got to have a good entry tonight. It's going to be really solid. Matt Harrington will be featured off to the right wing side. Now it's Colby with it. Malmquist gains the line as he's going to set that one back in behind Moorhead territory. Hornets try to work it with Morton on the forecheck, but now to take over, it's Carter Johnson. So he plays this one up the line. Nice job through traffic, but the Hornets are there with Vorlicki behind the net. He'll lay this one back up to the line. There's a wrister. Scores! Oh, the handcuffs came out. Hogue was handcuffed on that one. A big shot, I believe, by Fair. And it's now 2-1. Moorhead with a response here to start the second period. A beautiful shot there.
Well, indeed it was, and it came out of nowhere. He got a little lackadaisical on that one, but I believe it was Cullen Guest, the junior forward, scoring his 11th goal, but it just a one fluid motion beat allowed Hogue So now it's 2-1, a whole new ball game, and you can sense the energy on the Moorhead bench. They needed something positive to happen, and they just got that. But now it's up to the Edina Hornets to respond. It might have gone off the stick of Nick Williams, but maybe just a little bit of a redirect, but blocker side just above the pad. Big goal for the Moorhead Spuds.
It did hit the shaft of the stick of Nick Williams, and then to the back of the net it goes. It's now getting interesting here from the X. 2-1 now in favor of Edina as they lead the Spuds, who needed that one. Cullen Jess, your goal scorer. Now it's going to be Hornets across the line as they look for Jungles that missed him. And it's going to be played down the right wing wall. Big check. The Hornets work the offensive zone. Down on the play goes Gramer. Now it's going to be Nevers to protect and play down to the corner. Shoemaker at the hash marks for Edina on the right side. Jungles positions himself. He's jammed on the play and gets a fortuitous turnover. That's Williams that sends a shot through. And it's going to be sent back up through the center ice area. A knuckle puck was kind of a handcuffing biscuit that came up on Hogue. A tough one to handle. And now it's 2-1 in favor of Edina over the Spuds. Back behind the net in Moorhead territory. Checked on the play as Malmquist by Moilanen. Now they're going to work it out of the zone with Henkenmeyer-Howe, the right wing side. Reiners is going to play this one to the corner as he's wrapped up by Westra. The Hornets will bring the boards back up into the center ice area. They try to find an opening. Chorsky's dangerous. He has the big long strides. He's defensed by Clevin, but Chorsky stays on it. Fights it off to the corner as Chorsky's going to play this one back to some help for Delaney. Chorsky jumps on the loose puck again. Looks to jam his man Westra. Instead, behind the net it goes for Henkenmeyer-Howe. Off a skate of the intended receiver, Clevin, who gets it back as he winds it up, goes straight up the middle. Now cuts over to the right, back to the left. Down low he goes, shoots, pad save, Hogue, big rebound. Puck sits in the right circle, and it's going to be carried back out of the zone by Boltman. Boltman on the play to the right wing side, cutting back from traffic there as Malmquist stays on the puck. He's dynamic, fought off by Hodges. Just put the catch glove on, and the puck's comes up high and is handled by Edina. Now it's going to be Malmquist again. Boy, sizzling pace here. Morton shot it on goal, and that's Hodges to make the save with 13:09 to go in the period.
Boy, really good showing by Malmquist on that shift. He was controlling the puck, dangling it, creating some space, and dishing the puck off. But again, nice job by Hudson Hodges to keep that puck out of the net in a trying moment. But Moorhead, you can tell that they're only one shot down. They seem to have a little bit better focus now, a little bit more deliberate with the puck, and they aren't getting rid of it so quick. But Edina showed a pretty good answer after that goal that cut the lead to 1.
Yeah, they're a little less, I would say, stagnant in their approach. They kind of were standing back, waiting for the Hornets to take charge, and now they're kind of forcing things, but they're defending quite well in their zone too, Bart.
Yeah, and they have that nice last line of defense in Hudson Hodges. We can see why he's one of the better goaltenders in the state with just his demeanor. Didn't get rattled a bit even when they were down 2-0. He was still challenging the shooters, but Edina's doing a pretty good job of creating space, even though Moorhead's positioning is very, very solid, but Edina just seems to be a little bit refocused, so maybe that goal kind of woke them up a little bit. I thought they were kind of in a bit of a cruise control situation, especially starting the second period with a brief power play, but it's a whole new ball game now. Shots on goal, Edina 20, Moorhead 13. And the second period, Pete, is a good period for the Edina Hornets. 42 goals for, only 16 against. Now 17 against, cuts the disparity to a plus 25. So this is a period where the Hornets generally can inflict their will, but Moorhead pretty good start so far.
Things get different when you're in the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament too, Bart. You know, I mean, you can kind of throw all of those trends out the door. We've learned over the years, and goaltending's key, and Hodges has turned away some pretty nice saves, and we saw some incredible effort there by the goaltender Henry Welsh against the Eden Prairie Eagles that made a big difference too for them.
Yeah, lasting impression he made.
No question there. Back off the boards it goes. The Hornets offensive zone with Shoemaker. He's a wrecking ball off the end boards. It's Gramer with it to the right wing side, waiting on it. It's Westra. Stood up by Boltman. Mitz got up a little bit high there from the Hornet defenseman, but they'll let it go. Kramer now from the left corner. Or Clevin, rather, that was. Now across the line, it's going to be Jungles. Puts on the brakes, finds a man on the weak side. Boltman pushes that one wide. Now it's going to be Jungles in control as he plays behind for Nevers. Checked on the play, and it's going to be Shoemaker looking for Jungles to the slot, and the puck will be played back out of the zone by the Spuds. A quick slapper that's high and wide by Westra. A one-goal hockey game here between these two teams early on in the second period with 12:17 to go in it. On the stick now of Gregoire as he plays that up the left wing wall and sent right back in by the Hornets. Gunkel will get this one back in behind his own net. He looks to the left wing on the tape for Haran. He gets away from Vorlicki on the play and is going to play that back in behind the net. Now Williams is bumped on the play. Chorsky comes out of the corner, quickly fishes over behind the net for Vorlicki to the right side. Angle the pass too far for Chorsky. That's going to be picked up by Gregoire, who plays that one back in behind the net. Williams, he'll be forced off the play. Back off the boards they go as the Hornets will force it up through center. On the move now, it's Malmquist. Chorsky. Oh, what a save. Rebound. Scores! 3 players come in a hurry for the Edina Hornets. And Bart Archer, that's what happens when things come together for you. They take the 3-1 lead. Malmquist, another big goal.
Well, and as you said, Malmquist with his 27th, but it was just a nice sequence by the Edina Hornets. It was Delaney that actually gained the zone, chipped it up to Chorsky. Chorsky drew the defender in on the right side, dished it over to the left side, and it was Liam Malmquist that actually put that into an open goal. So Edina back to that 2-goal advantage, but what a nice sequence it was for the Hornets, and that's where they can get you. It just seemed like Moorhead was starting to inflict their will a little bit, and Edina comes down in transition and puts the puck in the net, but just a nice sequence. It was an initial save actually by the goaltender Hodges, but it was a follow-up by Malmquist that put that one into the open goal. Big goal for Edina. Now they have some energy. It's up to the Spuds to respond.
So, Bart, you're right. Malmquist, quite the player. How about him with the 55 points on the season coming into this game? And he's not leaving anything on the table here his senior year.
Well, absolutely, and it's not just the numbers on the score sheet as well. He does so many little things that that isn't noted in the box score, but the coaches recognize it.
Up high to the slot. Now Morton comes away with it. He's about the only guy who's not benefiting from a brother who was in the system. Usually you kind of get the name recognition.
Yeah.
But I think because Dylan Malmquist was so good that sometimes Liam gets missed along the way.
Well, there's a lot of talent that runs in that bloodline, I'll say that.
No question, back in behind the net it goes. Kramer with it, bumps it off the end boards. Moylan was there as he's going to play it to the right wing side, springs a man and fair as he's turned away from the Hornet defense. It's kicked up high to the right point, but held in neatly there by the defense and Triggs. Now it's going to be Nevers across the line. Wrist shot up high over the blocker pad. Quickly off the bench, it's played in by Jungles, absorbed the hit. Now it's going to be Nevers behind the net to the slot. That's off a pair of skates and out of the zone quickly on the feet of Henkenmeyer Howe. Plays to the left wing for Clevin. Clevin's going to put on the brakes and look back up high as he's going to be forced down to the corner. Fought off by the glove there by Hogue of the Hornets in goal. Shoemaker off the boards, races to the loose puck, walks in, slash, no call there. Shoemaker goes barreling into the net. No call there, as they'll say he was guided in. Puck is run around the stanchions and all the way through center. It gets away from Reiners, and that's going to be whistled down for an icing call as the Hornets and the Spuds are currently tied. The Hornets and the Spuds currently lead by a score of 2-1.
Well, Shoemaker did a nice job of going to the net. The coaches tell you to go to the net. He's got proof that he did, but the net didn't come off the moorings. But that's Edina coming in on a 2-on-1, and it was Shoemaker that decided to go ahead and try to make that goal. But a nice job by Moorhead to stop what was a pretty good rush by the Edina Hornets. 9:53 left in the second period.
So 9:53 remains here in the second period. The Hornets and the Spuds. The Skol chant is in full force.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I'd like to say a special hello to Patsy Zollers and the Zollers family for joining us. I'd like to say hello to Andy Curvers as well.
We'll face off now to the left of the goaltender. Hudson Hodges. It'll be Chorsky in to take the draw against Henkemeyer-Howe. Back in behind. Kramer is there. Outlets to the right wing side for Westra. And now it's Malmquist who's got the game's most recent marker. Across the line it goes. Handled once again now by the Spuds as they turn this off the boards with Clevin. Big check thrown there in the neutral zone. Ooh, nice little fish hook there with the stick by Delaney. Try to one-hand it across the line. That's not going to happen too often here, especially at the state tournament. And of course, he's pickpocketed. Puck was sent back in behind the net. And Hodges will watch the icing call be sent back into the Edina zone. The shots have kind of margined themselves down to 23-14.
Well, and lately it's been the Edina Hornets that are really putting on the offensive push, but now an offensive zone faceoff for this Moorhead Spuds team. It's going to be Loudon Hogues right. 9:20 left in the second period. 3-1 Edina. Shots on goals, he said 23-14, but a great opportunity for Moorhead to win possession and put some pressure on Edina.
Williams back in behind the net. It's going to guide this one out of the corner. They look ahead there with Vorlicki. Now from the left wing, it's played back into the corner. Rugemer's there as he crashes into the defense. Gunkel was there to meet him. And it's going to be the Spuds back up through the center ice area. Trailing Edina, as you mentioned, the pregame show is really nothing new for this Moorhead team, Bart, as they trailed back at the holiday tournament by 3 and climbed their way right back into that game. Rugemer across the line for Edina. Big number 15 plays that in wide of the mark. Gunkel runs into a check by Morton. Another check crashing off the end boards is Colby. Wide of the mark as they're going to play this one off the boards. Another check thrown by the Hornets at center. It's picked off by Vorlicki as his dump-in attempt hit Colby right at the line. It was a turnover for a dump-in for Moorhead into the Edina zone. Jungles was there. Now it's going to be Johnson with it. Johnson's kind of wrestled to the wall. Couple of Hornets in the corner now. Hornets and Spuds in the Edina off defensive zone. Nice battle wraparound attempt, nearly hit an Edina defenseman, and there's a wide open corner of the net that it stayed out of, but it missed by inches. Searles with it, plays it from right to left for Kramer. Up high at their own blue line, that misses the mark. It's turned over to Jungles, who wanted to scoot up the left wing side, couldn't get the energy as he was cut down. Shoemaker too far for Jungles. He would have been in a scoring opportunity there had he been able to gather in. Instead, it's played long pass from left to right through center across the line. Spuds have that centering feed broken up. Now Jungles, he can fly to the left wing side and on goal. Oh, they had Malmquist open, tried to get it through there, but the stick was there to break it up by Moylan. Nice job there. There's a shot that's blocked, and the Hornets will gather it back in with Reiners at center ice. Lays that one back in and around. That's under the stick of Hodges as it's going to be Delaney. Oh, nice little move along the end line. He gets to the corner. Up high it goes to Reiners. Reiners lays over to the left point. Hornets offensive zone. That's going to bounce off the glass as Hodges for Moorhead tucks up from right to left as they break it out of the zone. Henkemeyer-Howe across center. He's going to be content to try to play behind the Edina defense. He's jammed by Reiners. Up to the line it goes. It's cut off by Searles. And now there's Delaney. He's going to take it on the run. Baby, little REO Speedwagon for you there. And in on goal, that's handled.
It was like you read my mind because that was my inner monologue at that point, singing a little REO Speedwagon. But the puck bouncing around a little bit. Edina just needed a whistle, so they just held on to the puck. So faceoff's going to be to Loudon Hogues right. But that puck that just eluded the net, it was a really nice effort by the Moorhead Spuds, but it went off actually Mason Nevers' skate and just missed by a little bit. So very fortunate for the Edina Hornets.
It hit his back heel and started angling its way toward the danger zone.
But that's when you get the center coming back to support the D.
Highway to the danger zone. Now from the slot area.
Stop.
You can do this all night long.
I know.
Jaworski leaves off. Malmquist, shot and a save by Hodges as that's turned aside. Now out of the zone, it's going to be Gramer to the left wing. Vorlicki, rising shot in on Hogue as he pulls that one out of the air. 6:11 to go here in the period. I'd like to remind you, tonight's coverage presented in part by Sportsman's Guide. Don't forget to check them out coming up on Saturday from 10 to 2. They're going to have their big Beyond the Pond show up to 60% off in the store. They got a 400,000 square foot warehouse. They can pick and pull anything you want. It's like shopping online. You get to take it home. It's great stuff. Also by Optimal Goalie, RJM Construction, Tradition Companies, and Brew Pub Pizza. You see it all right across the screen there. Let's frequent our great sponsors here at the MNHockey.tv, and thank you for listening. Oh, a quick whistle on Rugemer as Hodges makes the save for the Spuds.
Well, it was an innocent shot by Vorlicki, keeping it in the zone. He just fired it toward the net. It hit a couple bodies, but it was Rugemer waiting in the wings. But it was Hodges that actually made that save. Kind of a fluttering puck, so kind of a bigger save than really going to show up. But we're going to have another TV timeout, so it's going to be a bit before we get going again. These TV timeouts, really, it's hard for these players probably to keep their rhythm going. I mean, they're going to be well rested, but it just seems like once they get a flow, it's almost like basketball where they just stop it once you get something going.
Well, the coaches love it because it gives them an opportunity to talk things over, and they can kind of take the games in increments and segments. And what I found is off these TV timeouts, Bart, these games tend to get a little bit of a different tone, a little texture to them.
Well, I think you're right. They're going to take advantage of the situation, and obviously you can get some rest. You can get a fluid if you want fluids. The goalie can come and skate away from the net and get a different perspective, but it just seems like they're a little bit lengthy. I understand it, obviously, but we're so used to during the regular season, the sections, you just keep rolling and rolling, but a little different format, obviously, moving forward. But Edina, if you just joined us, thank you very much. 5:55 left in the second period. Edina holding on to a 3-1 lead. Shots on goal, 25 for the Hornets and 14 for the Spuds. But I will say that of those 14 shots from the Spuds, probably 5 are pretty good opportunities, and Loudon Hogue's done a pretty good job of keeping his team with a 2-goal lead. But I really am still impressed with the zone exits or the poise that this Spuds team is showing in their own zone. They don't get too excited. They aren't chasing the play too much. They're making Edina work for it. Edina just very skilled with the puck, finding the open man.
We face off to Hodges right. 5:55 to go in period number 2. Starting to load up here. Crowd's getting heavy. The Cadets, I'm sure their vociferous fans are here. They're all in garb. Is that the band down there?
No.
Yeah, it is the band. See 'em?
Is it?
Oh, yeah. They'll be the loudest. I mean, this would be a rowdy crowd. Those guys bring the heat. There's a shot that doesn't get through as it was off Williams' stick. It was hard and on the ice. And the Hornets now the 2-on-1 backup ice on the right wing. Shoemaker rather, his pass is stopped, and he is trying to get it to Jungles, but defensed very neatly there.
Well, it was Gramer that did a nice job of staying. He wanted to get the puck over to Jungles, but Gramer did a nice job of really limiting the opportunity, getting his stick in the way, and then it just got a little congested from that point, and it was Hodges that jumped the route a little bit, held onto that puck, so allowing both coaches to get fresh legs out on the ice. Boy, they're throwing a lot of centers out of the faceoff dots today.
Well, I mean, they're being watched by the head of officials, so, I mean, no cheating.
I get it.
I mean, I don't think Jack Jensen got to take a faceoff.
He got thrown out of more than he got to.
Everyone. It was
yeah,
hilarious.
He did.
Nice move to the outside by Carter Johnson as he's wedged. Nice positional check by the Edina defense as it's played back up through at the line. And cut off by the Edina goaltender. Spuds will regroup and play this one back to center ice. It's slowed down a little bit as far as the tempo. It's gotten a little more station to station here between these two teams, Bart.
Yeah, indeed it has, and I think that works actually to the Spuds' advantage. Edina likes to kind of run and gun. They can play this game, but I just don't think it's their strength. But slow the game down, get the running game going is what the Spuds have in mind.
We're cheering 420. Now it's going to be underneath the stick of Jaworski. if you're wondering.
Right. And I don't know about the we, but everybody else was.
Well, we being the fans.
Right.
I know you are, Bart. Stop.
I just want to be a part of the action, Pete Wagner. But face-off not allowed in Hoag's right. 4:14 left in the second period. I will say that Moorhead has had pretty good success in the face-off dots, at least in their own zone, but a great opportunity for them to get possession.
Wicked battle off the boards to the right of Hoag. Kind of wanted to see what would happen out of that one. Nobody wants it. Now the Hornets, that's played up to the line. Pad saved by Hoag. Kicks it off to his right. Nice job there by the Hornet goaltender. And it's going to be Rugemer to play that no ice on the play. 3:46 to go in the period. Off the boards again. Up high. Rugemer plays this one off the end wall. Colby turns that one off the boards for Boltman. Now Vorlicki leans into that one, deflected off the stick of Reiners. That one's too far, as Dronin was there for Moorhead. Now they're going to try and send a long pass. Dronin takes it across the line. He misses the mark there. It's going to be Nevers ahead for Shoemaker, who's stopped on the play by Gregoire, and back in behind the net, it's Gunkel for the Spuds. He has to move it along quickly as that gets under the stick of Triggs. Nevers was there. Now that again hits the legs of Dronin, and the Hornets send that one back in. This is being played between the dots of each circle here over the past 3-4 minutes. Sent back into the Edina zone. No ice up. They'll say icing on the play. We'll bring it back into Moorhead territory.
Well, I don't think that's what he really had in mind. I think he just wanted to chip it out of the zone, relieve a little pressure, because Edina had pretty good positioning, putting some pressure on the Spuds, but faceoff's going to come all the way down to Hodges left. 2:47, so we're under 3 minutes. Both teams want to play very honest, play the right way, and just play smart. Don't turn the puck over.
No question, Bart. You never want to. Got to take care of that biscuit. Shovel back along behind the end line. Chorsky guides it up along to the right wing side. And here come the Hornets out of the zone. Malmquist cuts to the forehand, misses the mark. All the way up high it goes. Malmquist again. And it's going to be sent to center by Clevin. Hornets pick it off. And taking a couple of sticks for his efforts are Malmquist. Now it's Reiners from the low right circle. The defenseman works it in deep for Edina. Now it's on the stick for Henkenmeyer Howe. Look out. That goes into the... That nearly took out the announcer and the photographer.
Well, and Kurt Giles on its way too, but it deflected into the part between both of the benches. But Kurt Giles just moved just a couple inches to his right. Very calm, very cool, very focused as well. But Edina getting on the Spuds defenders a little bit quick, so they're getting rid of the puck a little earlier than I think they want to. So the Edina forecheck's starting to wear down the Spuds a little bit.
They'll jam off the boards once again. Moving his feet is Shoemaker as he's stopped on the play with 1:48 to go in the period. Another check. Sent back up the wall. Held in by the blue line. Coming over from left to right as Gramer finds his man up the middle. Ooh, they had a man trailing the Spuds with an opportunity to the slot, but the Edina defense and the forwards support and shut that down. Pulled away and played back in wide of the mark. Horan now to the corner. Played away by Jess. Now up to the line for Jungles, up high at the left blue line. Tried to feed that through, kept alive by the stick of Nevers. Boy, when it's on his stick, it doesn't leave very often. Sent some sauce to the left wing side for Jungles that missed the mark, but they'll take it and carry it in back in behind the net. They'll pin up as they try to kick this thing free. The Cadets are already starting in. I mean, these guys are something else, Bart Archer.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole different game within the game going on right now.
They certainly bring their cadet pride, that's for sure.
Their little suit thingies. What do you call those?
Just the foremost dress blues, I guess. I don't remember. It was 30 years ago, Pete.
There's a shot in on goal. It's handled again by Hodges.
40 years ago, Pete. Wow. Time flies. But now faceoff's going to be, again, to Hodges. A lot of play down in the Spud zone. Faceoff's going to be to Hodges right, but Edina just flexing a little bit. 28 shots on goal now for Edina Hornets, and they're building on that number, but it's going to be Chorski against Hinkmeyer-Howe. Moorhead wins another faceoff in the zone, but Edina with possession.
Chorski stays on it off the end boards. Malmquist was there. Now it's going to be played to the left wing side for Clevin. Looks ahead as he goes to Hinkenmeyer-Howe. And now it's going to be Malmquist who loses an edge at center. Here comes Delaney with 4 seconds, loads it up. That one high off the glass. Chorski follows through, and that does it for the period. The Hornets and the Spuds, 3-1 after 2.
Well, Hornets played very, very well, but Spuds only 2 shots down.
Periods of high school hockey state tournament coverage and section playoff time, and one of our great supporters and partners is the Sportsman's Guide, and we're joined by Scott Eichstad, Senior Vice President of Customer Experience and Operations. He's got a big job with a very big company that's located in South St. Paul, Minnesota. And Scott, you had an event last year called the Sportsman's Guide Beyond the Pond Sale. That's year 1. This is becoming an annual event because you're bringing it back coming up on March 9th at noon at your store. Thanks for joining us once again, and we're excited to help promote this event for you. Can you talk a little bit about what's going on with your event?
Absolutely. Again, thanks for having me. And last year was our first annual Beyond the Pond sale event here at the Sportsman's Guide, and it was a success. We partnered with KFAN, and again, we're doing that again this year. They're going to have their live show right on location here in our store in South St. Paul, and Kevin Fallness, Pat Micheletti, and Lou Danny's going to be on site, and it's just a wonderful opportunity for customers to come in and meet the legends within the state of Minnesota hockey, and at the same time take advantage of some incredible one-day only deals, up to 60% off on a lot of product in our store. So we had a great kickoff event last year, and year 2, and we foresee doing this year after year here, and the timing of it is great with the state high school hockey tournament, and which I obviously have a passion for on my past with hockey. So we're really looking forward to it.
Well, it's a great event, and it's a time we're all talking about hockey, and there's nothing more pure than high school hockey. I think that's what both of us have talked about a lot, and it's been in our blood for a long time, and there's a lot of traffic that's moving toward the St. Paul area, and I think one of the most important things is about your store. It's phenomenal. I mean, you've got everything in there, and for those that are familiar with it, they know exactly what they need, where they want to go, and what they have to do. But for those that are usually online shoppers, can you tell us a little bit about your in-store experience?
Absolutely. We're, again, Sportsman's Guide. We're in South St. Paul. We've been here. The Sportsman's Guide been around for about 40 years. And, the thing is with our store, whatever your passion, if you're an outdoors person, you're gonna find it in our store. If it's ammunition and shooting supplies, firearms, hunting equipment, tree stands, surplus, boots, shoes, clothing, fishing, camping, you name it, we have it. We have a rare and unique military surplus gear from the United States and all over the world. We've got a huge selection of ammunition that we sell most items in bulk. And then we have this clearance corner that at any given time there's discounts up to 30 to 60% off every day. So, and then a couple of other unique things I think for our store is if you're a first responder, retired or active duty military member, you receive 10% off your purchase or 5% off ammunition and firearms and other select items. Just our way of saying thank you for the men and women out there that support and take care of our country.
Well, Beyond the Pond is one of Minnesota's Twin Cities only wall-to-wall hockey shows for 2 hours that you can find, and they're completely plugged in with Pat Micheletti and Brandon Molesky. I don't know if he's going to be a part of it again this year. You mentioned Kevin Fallness will be in the house. Lou Nanny will be there. It's a great time to come in, talk hockey. Check out your up to 60% off on sale items in the store. I suppose that covers just pretty much everything, right, Scott? I mean, I would assume.
Yeah, there's going to be deals and discounts. We're going to have some great drawings. We've got a Hummingbird Helix that's going to be a drawing item. We have some NCHC Frozen Face-Off tickets that are going to be available, and also a special prize from Ruger that you have to come in to see. And so we've got great discounts on anything that you are looking for from an outdoors perspective, activities, and then we've got some great drawing items. And at the same time, you can meet and get to know and listen to the show of Beyond the Pond, and get an opportunity to meet Lou Nanny, Pat Micheletti, and Kevin Fulness. So it's going to be fun.
And then once again, your address in South St. Paul is?
490 Hardman Avenue, South St. Paul, Minnesota, and right off of 494 off Concord Avenue.
Perfect. So it's easy to get there. Either way, you're coming on 494, you exit Concord, you go north about a block or so, and you turn right, and it's right there. Massive, expansive facility. You guys have a warehouse within the store. So the storefront serves great, but then you can actually
that we obviously put into our retail store, some of them. But what's nice about our store, you can come and shop on the kiosk, go on the web, filter through our catalogs, and whatever we have in our warehouse, that shopping experience is taking place in our store. So we can do just a quick will call order. We'll go pick it out of the store, out of the warehouse, bring it into the store. And now, instead of a handful, the assorted items that we have in the store, we're expanding that to the warehouse, which is 30,000 SKUs. So it's a vast variety of items and a large amount of items that a customer can shop at any given time in our one store.
It's a hybrid shopping experience where you can experience the selections of an online purchase, yet you can touch it, feel it, and buy it. It's a great situation. So let's be sure to check out the Sportsman's Guide Beyond the Pond sale. 10 a.m. to noon on March 9th. That's Championship Saturday. Beyond the Pond and the crew will be there. Excited to see year two be even more successful after a great run last year. 60% off items, and you're going to have a number of drawings and things available, tickets as well. It's great stuff, Scott. Thanks for supporting high school hockey and making our coverage possible.
Thanks a lot. You're very welcome, and we're here to serve the public, and we're excited for the event that's coming in the next couple Saturdays here.
We'll be back with more coming up right after this. TV, along with Chad Schumacher. He's the owner of Tradition Wealth Management. I'm Pete Wagner, Between Periods, and Chad, I always enjoy these chats because you've got one heck of a juggernaut working here at Tradition Wealth Management. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Let's talk a little bit about, who is Tradition Wealth Management, what you guys do, and give me a little bit of a history lesson on how all this started for you.
Great, thanks, Pete. Yeah, we've been around since 2003. One of my best friends who was in the business, Jake Annebeck, they own Tradition Companies. We played against each other. We were in high school. They were looking to branch out and get another avenue company going, and we got together, and Tradition Wealth Management's been here since 2003.
It's amazing. You guys locked horns in high school, and you still are, aren't you? With the little Lakeville South, Lakeville North action.
Correct, yeah. There is only one part of Lakeville, right? South?
Sorry. I just say who's winning the battle. I guess I don't need to go there. Yeah, so as far as your office is concerned, is there future growth? I mean, how many employees do you have, and where are you guys located?
Yeah, right now we have offices here in Edina, Woodbury, downtown St. Paul. And we recently opened up North Oaks, and Wayzata will be opening up in February. So we have 20 people now. We're probably going to go to 25 to maybe 30 over the next 5 years.
Look at you going to Wayzata Street, as I like to call it. Yeah. Wow, very impressive. The cash center of the West Metro. What makes Tradition Wealth Management unique, Chad?
Well, I'd say certainly our people. I mean, I got the best staff. Everybody says that, but everybody's been here, for almost 20 years. It's, being specialized in there. We really specialize that each different person has their own plan, and everybody goes through a plan. So we try to separate it. We've kind of created a private family office for people that don't need a private family office and take care of all public securities. Most of our clients have been here, 10 plus years, if not, since we've been in the business. So we feel very fortunate. And now we recently opened up our sports management division for some of the athletes that we're working for. And so, we really want to make sure we can help all those people stay on the right path as well.
So as far as the type of personnel that you have here, you touched on that a little bit earlier there. What makes them unique? What do you look for in the people that you bring in here?
Well, obviously they're going to have to have a passion. We don't want it just to be just a job. People pay us a lot of money to make sure that their money's in good hands, that the service is impeccable, that we do nothing but have a positive attention to their accounts. We realize we're going to have ups and downs all the time, but as long as we stay consistent, we're going to tend to keep people for a long time at our firm.
Yeah, I think you guys have a unique way of reaching out. One of the things Scott Boyning said from the bank side of things, it's really big time word of mouth, and if you take care of your people, that's what happens. I'm sure that's part of what your strategy too as well. But what else have you guys done? Can you talk on your network a little bit and how you've built that out?
Yeah, well, over the years, obviously it's a small community. Whether it's hockey or a lot of people know everybody in there. You can have a reputation for 25 years and lose it in one day. So you always got to be on top of your game. We practice what we preach. We're in the community all the time. I'm on the board of Hope Kids, which is a local charity for kids who have life-threatening illnesses. We have Tradition Pass It On. We're always out there trying to help give back.
And by giving back, so many people have benefited from that. And, I know it's from those exercises that not only myself, but others are now aware of your great company.
Yeah, no, it's been very fortunate. We're blessed to have good people not only here at Tradition Wealth Management, but all the other brands that are out there. So, a lot of the networking is just done intercompanies with our clients, and they know that they're going to get top-notch attention. And so, naturally, it's a good fit for them to be introduced to us. And it's been a very blessed place to work.
So you have a lot of growth that's going on. You're obviously opening another office out in Wayzata. How much have you seen your world here grow as far as maybe the past year or so? As obviously things are humming along pretty well. How have you guys been impacted that way?
Yeah, we're having a record year as far as the people that we're working with. There's a lot of volatility in the market. There's a lot of people selling companies. There's a lot of money in motion. So, we have various things that we run into all the time. There's always enough to stay busy. And, we're trying to get to $1 billion here in the next couple of years. So we have a little bit ways to go here in the next couple of years. But with, I think, some of these new places that we're opening up, there's plenty of people that we can help. And I know that a lot of people need the help.
Finally, how do I get a hold of you at Tradition Wealth Management?
You can call our main office line, which is 952-563-6500, and they can get a hold of you. Our website is www.traditionwealth.com, and my individual email address is chads@traditionwealth.com.
I have to say that through personal experience, this is a great organization to work with. It's very personalized. It's worth it. Give it a call. Why not? You're already on the air with us during the hockey games. Make it even better. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
Once again, it's Chad Schumacher. He's the owner of Tradition Wealth Management. We'll have more action coming up for you right after this. Securities offered through Pro Equities, Inc., a registered broker-dealer, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Tradition Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Tradition Wealth Management, LLC is independent of Pro Equities, Inc. She said the radio's busy. Their radios were busy.
Oh, that's right. I gotta get back to the air.
Let's talk to you. Thanks. Hey, Bar, you ready? Yep. It's all you, buddy. Bart Archer. We're on the air live.
All right, welcome back. We're about a minute and a half away from the drop of the puck. Just to give you a quick summary of the scoring, but thank you for joining us in the first period. It was Jet Jungle scoring his 30th at the 57-second mark, and then at the 13:41 mark, it was Mason Never scoring his 20th from Borlicki and Jungles. Then Moorhead answered back. It was Jess with his 11th goal from Johnson and Perrin at the 139 mark, and then it was Marco scoring his 27th from Kursky and Delaney at the 529 mark. That's where we stand right now. We've got a 3-1 advantage. Shots on goal that period, 5 for Moorhead, 2-period total of 15, and 11 for the Hornets, 2-period total of 28. Bottom right away from the drop of the puck. Now Moorhead starts to filter in.
Moorhead's had a nice Hornets are so deep up front. That's been a bit of a problem right now.
Well, not only that, but they're a good front-running team, and being down by 2 goals in 17 minutes to make up that difference is a tall order. But this Spuds team is certainly in this game. They're just 2 good shots, 2 good effective shots away. But this Edina Hornet team can play solid defense. In fact, 48 goals for, 11 against during the regular season. Obviously, we talked about how statistics don't mean much moving in, but that is a trend that is most favorable for the Hornets closing games out. But they have a challenge in front of them about 20 seconds away from the drop of the puck. But the Spuds, if they can get some early energy and put Edina back in their defensive zone and maybe punch one in, it's going to change the complexion. But the next goal is going to be huge for either team.
Well, Bob Gibbons with a nice little post here.
I didn't see it.
He writes, if I were in Minnesota tonight, I would follow Bart Archer on the ice and turn it on. It's spoiled, by the way, he and Pete Wagner pro high school hockey. And that's what came out tonight. I played Manfred. It's high school hockey instead of turning on 2 weeks.
Very nice of you, Bob. We appreciate it very much. Thank you as always for joining us. You're the wind beneath our wings. I know, what a Bette Midler reference.
Back in behind the net it goes, now Clevin is there.
Everybody loves Bette Midler, right?
What was that, Beaches?
I have no idea. It was your favorite movie, I know that.
I just told that the other day, I don't even know. Back up to the right wing side, Hinkenmeyer. Howe plays that one to the corner. He gave it the old suck when he came up flying up to the line, not hi mom, hi dad.
Right.
Suck, dog. Ice in the
Well, Pete, kind of a telltale statistic in that up to the second period is Moorhead has a 20-16 face-off advantage in the dots, and it's Hinkenmeyer Howe with a 10-3 record in the face-off circle, so very effective.
Well, Mr. Suck Dog.
I don't even know how to respond to that. Everybody wants to make their mark, right? Another face-off into down the zone.
Indeed they do. Hornets now in possession. That underneath the stick of Delaney. On air production meeting, man, I want to make sure the mix is correct.
Now that puck was actually a cross-ice pass that deflected up and went off Bishop in the Edina Hornets bench, so hence the whistle is called, and the face-off is going to be just outside the Edina zone in front of the Edina bench. But that puck got under Delaney's stick, otherwise it would have been one-on-one with some space, but fortunate break for the Spuds as they win another face-off.
Now it's played back in behind the Edina net. As they're going to play this one to center ice area. Picked off by the Hornets. Delaney's going to send that back in and guide it behind the net. Hodges sets up for the Spuds as they're going to break up the left wing wall. Johnson was there. Gets it back to the Spuds and stopped and shivered with a right hand there by Vorlicke, who finishes him with a check. It's played back in behind the net. I'm being told our audio is echoey, Bart Archer, and I have no idea why that would be.
Ooh.
Got it.
Nailed it, as you always do. You're a troubleshooter, Pete Wagner. But it was a good forward push by the Spuds.
Thank you very little.
It was a
Thanks
good
for
forward.
sticking with us through that.
Good forward push, but it's going to be a penalty to Moorhead, and it's going to be Gramer again. Going to go to the box. Didn't see what the infraction was, but Edina with a golden opportunity to boost his lead by 4. We're going to see it again. Just didn't get the official. We'll have to wait for the official call on that one. Boarding.
Interference at 1:48 of the third period to Luke Grammer.
Oh, I thought he said boarding, but interference is an appropriate call. But Edina getting a chance to punch one in on the power play and boost the lead to 3. So the challenge again is in front of the Spuds to pick up their teammate. Kill this penalty off.
Face off inside the Moorhead zone. Pulled back by Chorsky. Vorlicke gets it now for Jungles. It's a tough time of the game for the Spuds. They got to kill this penalty to stay within striking distance, down 2. Hornets walk to the right circle. They look up high for Malmquist. Jungles is there. His pass is deflected away, back up into the center ice area. As it's pickpocket, nice job by Nevers. Just a quick stick at center. He's always in control. Kind of reminds me of Mikhail Granlund with the way he approaches the game on the rush. Skating style a little bit. Nevers, snapper's blocked as that one's played back over for Jungles, who's like Kevin Fiala. Plays that one through traffic. Why not invoke the trade here in our discussions?
That's so funny because that came into in my thoughts as well.
Boy, is he dynamic. He's made that team just fundamentally fast.
There's a little buzz about him now.
Up high to the line. Jungles, or Nevers' shot's blocked off a pair of skates. Ouch. And the Spuds try to play this one up into the center ice area. They do, as it's going to be Nevers playing for Vorlicki across the line. Malmquist had Jungles on the move. Now it's Chorsky, touches back. Nice touch passes again. Now Nick Williams' shot that misses Chorsky on its way off the glass. Now up high to the right point. Jungles walks it there. He's going to take it to the top of the right circle. The left-hand shot wanted high cheese. He got nothing but glass. Now it's played back up high to the line again. There's Nevers to leave off for Williams as he plays this to the right circle. Rister, that misses the mark. The big Karam comes up to the line. Controlled again by the Hornets. Nevers with it with 10 to go in the power play. Malmquist for Chorsky missed the mark, and it's going to be lifted in the air on the backhand by Clevin back through center and into the Edina zone as Williams turns it back up ice. Now back on the ice steps the penalized Gramer, and it's sent right back into Edina territory as it's going to be Nevers to chase this one, but not in time as icing is your call.
Wow, very effective kill by the Spuds. I don't think Edina really got too many good looks, but when they did, it was Jungles that sent two rockets right over the crossbar and around the glass, but Edina maintained possessions, but a really nice kill by the Moorhead Spuds. That's got to give them a little energy to kill that penalty off, but again, 2 more minutes came off the clock, so we're down to 13:01. Edina still with a 2-goal advantage. I think Edina better play a very honest brand from this point because a lot of penalties have been called on Moorhead, and we know how those marbles can switch the pockets a little bit. But again, now time is a bit of an issue for this Moorhead Spuds team with as good a defense as the Edina Hornets have played and can play. They got to get on their horse and start getting some offensive zone time. They're winning faceoffs, but Edina is winning the battle of possession tonight.
So 13:01 to go here in the third period as we march our way toward the what would be the final help me out here, Bart.
Period, regulation.
Semi-final game of the day. Quarterfinal day.
Quarterfinal. Now you're bringing me with you. It has been it's been a long day, Pete Wagner.
I'm out.
No, you're fine.
I might be hauling Matt Harrington over to call the champion, the semi-quarterfinal, or whatever the heck it's called.
I'm not calling a game with Matt. What are you crazy? No, I'm just.
Well, it's not going to be Edina. I mean,
kidding,
right now he is shaking his head. Every time the Hornets get the power play, he is just bitter. Every time they score, he begrudgingly writes notes down on the story. I can't wait to see how the story reads.
Right.
You know what? I think you're professional, though. I think you're going to get it done.
Yeah. Very unbiased, not slanted
I was
at
hearing
all.
some incredible stories. We'll get into it here on the next whistle, Bart, about what was going on when the Eden Prairie game was over. I'll tell you about it. It's something.
I'll look forward to it. Nice tease.
That's what you do here in this business.
You're good at it.
And a penalty coming up. The Spuds will get the power play. And Matt Harrington politely applauds here in press row,
right,
which was not supposed to happen, but
he's
he does
very,
anyway.
Very inconspicuous when he did it, but it's going to be Grant Morton, the junior forward, that's going to go for the Edina Hornets. And I just said just moments ago, Edina's going to have to play honest from this point forward. And it was just either a high stick or a hook. There's a couple different areas.
Yeah. Well, let's just get it in there enough. He impeded him.
We got his money's worth on that one anyway. But now the challenge is in front of the Hornets to kill off this penalty, pick up their teammate. Great opportunity for the Spuds.
Reiners up to the line, but not out. Gramer with it. Feeds Henkenmeyer-Howe, who gets it back. That was fed to him by Clevin. Henkenmeyer-Howe now behind the net. It's rung the boards up to the left point. That was by Boltman. Now Henkenmeyer-Howe again to the left point. They'll give this one back to Clevin through the slot area. Now it's played back up to the line. That's deflected, rattling around. Reiners is there off the glass, and sent the length of the ice with 1:28 to go in the power play and 12:11 to go in the third period. 3-1 Edina. Looking to move on to the semifinal round against either the Cadets of St. Thomas Academy, that one through the slot area, or Duluth East. Clevin, oh, Chorsky, the big stick, the big reach, pokes to center. The long strides are going to pressure Gramer as he's forced back into his own zone. Off the bench on the change, Chorsky, wow, came back and back checks and pickpockets his man, forces the turnover. Malmquist takes over and plays it back in his own zone to the left side for Chorsky as he sends this one back in behind. Greg Wire is there as he's going to start this one up ice. Oh, that's a nice turnover forced by Malmquist. He's been a house of fire here on the penalty kill, really pretty much all night in every aspect of the game. 28 to go in the man advantage for the Spuds. As the Hornets transition through center. Oh, they got a holding penalty coming up.
Oh, they got him.
And it's going to be 4-on-4 for 21 seconds. Then the Hornets will go back on the power play here with 11:06 to go in the period.
Well, Malmquist should get some hardware for that acting job. Well, he didn't act. I mean, he was indeed hooked, but he accentuated it just enough to get the referee's attention. The arm went up, so 21 seconds left in the penalty to Morton for Edina, and then they go on a brief power play barring another penalty, but a lot of open space out there. Both teams exhibited some great speed, but I think if Moorhead's going to win a faceoff, now would be a real good time to do that in their own zone to Hodges' left. 11:06 left in this third period. Edina doubled up on shots, now 30-15.
Greg Wire goes for interference. Now it's going to be handled by Boltman at center with 12 to go in the 4-on-4 as Reiners is going to be forced behind by Clevin in the Edina zone. Reiners finds his man Nevers, looks up at the clock and wants to get the power play breakout ensued as he's going to wait for their fifth attacker to step on as Morton races across the ice, gets to the bench. And now they have a new set of 5 with their power play unit ready to roll. Back in around it goes. It's going to be Malmquist with it. Plays this one down for Jungles. Jungles on it from the right hash marks. They'll walk along. Nice pad save by Hodges as he was caught off the corner. Oh, Chorsky off the slot area. Checked on the play. Puck rolls up and it's swatted at and played the length of the ice. Nifty little play there by the Spuds. Back in behind Edina goes with 1:04 to go in the power play. Vorlicki lays this one ahead for Liam Malmquist across the line. Malmquist, nearly runs into Jungles. That would have been the best hit of the tournament. Now it's Vorlicki with it. That's deflected away. Big reach by Chorsky. Couldn't outman the man on that play. That was Searles. And now it's going to be played back for Vorlicki by Hogue, who's going to gather behind the net again. 40 to go in the man advantage. Malmquist right at the center dot. They got the Minnesota State High School League logo just beautifully emblazoned here at center ice for the 75 anniversaries. Logo is quite impressive across the board here for the State High School League. Celebrating away from the right circle up to the slot, off the post. That one, Vorlicki had a beautiful look there. Head went up skyward there after he let that go. I think he's starting to raise the stick. Vorlicki now with 10 to go on the power play. They'll have one last rush here. They find Chorsky at the line as he dances into the Moorhead zone, gets a little bit of help from Jungles back in behind the net. Jungles is watched on the play as Clevin comes away with it for the Spuds as they advance it ahead for fair. And now it's going to be played off the boards for the Hornets. Malmquist guides that in. 8:54 to go in the period. Now into the puck, it's going to be Mulanen as he's going to play this one ahead on the stick for fair across the line. His shot in on goal is picked up off the ice by Hogue, and a big check right at the whistle there by the very physical Jake Boltman.
Indeed, I think it was Dronin that took a pretty good shot, but it was Boltman that actually deposited him. Did a nice job of forcing him to the outside, so he was really on the board side, but Hogue made a nice glove save, held onto it, looked very confident and very comfortable on that one. and now we got a little bit of a reprieve. Edina kind of working their power play, so it gives their ones a chance to rest a little bit. And not only that, but killing off penalties as far as Moorhead, it gives a chance to rest their primaries as well. So there is a bit of a benefit to these long stoppages, as you said, and the coaches are going to take full advantage of it. But 8:44, Moorhead down by 2 goals against a very stingy Edina Hornet defense. They better get something moving here pretty quick. They've done a good job of getting to the blue line, but Edina with that proper positioning, the forwards coming back to support, making that very tough area to tread for this Spuds team. But they have to get some pressure on Hogue and force him to make some saves. Time is of the essence.
So the Eden Prairie game and Lakeville South game ends late, and the doors usually, those games are usually over with about 3:45. They clear the building, everybody gets out of here about 4:15. They don't open any gates, until 5. Well, what you had is the game ends about 5:05, 5:10, and what was left in the building, let's say 8,000 people, had to exit. And what I've been told is the whole city of Edina was ensconced in the lobby. And everybody was looking to leave, and they wanted to get in, and then they couldn't get out. And it was just absolutely gridlock.
Yeah.
Human gridlock. And we were sitting up here eating prime rib sirloin sandwiches from the club level. Couldn't have been happier.
Not everybody was.
Well, me and Tim Pullman,
right.
you were
the big hitters.
Yeah, right.
I was up doing my prep.
Back in behind the net. Well, prepping for me, too. You carry me. We'll admit it.
No worries, man. It's all good.
Malmquist checked on the play by Henkenmeyer Howe. I've been calling his name a lot. Henkenmeyer Howe has been not only offensively but defensively neutral. He's been doing everything quite well, killing penalties, power play.
Face-off dot.
Definitely a big part of this Spuds team, and a key component. The senior's been very good for John Emmerman's addition. Nevers peels this one away and turns up ice. Nice save by Hodges. I've never felt the 3-1 lead kind of be more comfortable in a weird way. The 2-goal lead's always typically one Bart that you see kind of fade, but Forlicki loads it up. That one is blocked. It hits Westra on its way in, and icing will be the call as the puck trickles in wide of the goaltender, Loudon Hogue.
Well, some people think a 2-goal lead is really not a great lead to have. I'd rather be up by 2 than down by 2, but Edina, they don't change their style of play. If they're up by 2, if they're up by 1, if they just keep moving forward, and if they get the puck, they push it up the ice and they funnel to the net. So really not much of a deviation from the norm for this Edina Hornet team. 7:33 left, face off to Hodges' right. Edina wins that one.
Wrist shot that's blocked. Ooh, that looked like that hit Rugemer off the back of his leg.
I shouldn't have been standing there.
Across the line they go. Horan is there from the corner in front. Ooh, there's a chance that was off the stick of Jess. Now it's going to be Colby from the left wing, in deep behind the Spuds net. It rolls up off the back of it, but the Spuds regain possession and look to break out of the zone. Skating up the right wing is Jess, back in behind the net. Stopped by Hogue, and they're going to guide this one through center with Chorsky. He's got 4 players he's going to try to work through. He does! He gets through one. Wow, Chorsky with quick hands at 6'6". It's incredible. Boltman with it, fanned on it, forced to play this off the boards. Chorsky lifts the stick, gets it back from Delaney. They had Malmquist open down low. Chorsky walks along the line, swung on by Delaney. There's Boltman. Puck finally works the zone as it's going to be the Spuds in transition. Stick save Hogue. That's the 17th shot of the game that he's faced, as the Spuds will jam up against the wall with the Hornets, who find their way out of the zone to the left wing with Malmquist. Chips it in. Hornets will go wholesale on the change. Back into the defensive zone are the Spuds as they break this one out to the right wing side on the stick of Fair as he's checked on the play. And it's going to roll back into Moorhead turf and icing the call with 6:07 to go here in the third.
Well, Edina's got their primary line out there right now. Shoemaker showing his value. He stapled one of the Spuds against the boards, and I'm sure the heads are going to be on a swivel, but that's exactly what he brings. He's got some offensive skill, and he can skate quite well, keeps up with his line mates, but he provides a physical component that this line didn't have before, and it makes him even more effective. Creates some space.
Jungles off the right wing side. It's going to be Shoemaker. And boards it goes. And here they go, back out of the zone. Henkenmeyer Howe, wrist shot in on goal. Ooh, Hogue had that one roll on him, and he handled it.
Well, it came up around the shoulder area. Henkenmeyer Howe tried to go short side, but Hogue did a really nice job of making the initial save, and then just corralling that puck that was a little bit loose. But I thought Reiners did a really nice job of forcing him to the outside and really making his angle a little bit more shallow and giving his goaltender a good chance to make that save, which indeed he did. 5:42 left in regulation time. Spud's still down by one. Got a pretty good look on that one, but Edina's defense answered the bell again. Great positioning, great support. Gave their goaltender a chance to make a save.
Coming up next, it's going to be Duluth East and St. Thomas Academy in a game I have had circle for quite some time.
Well, I think it's a really nice matchup to wrap up a great day in hockey so far, but St. Thomas Academy has plenty of offensive skill. They have some size, as you said, Pete Wagner, but Duluth East, if they have Mike Randolph behind the bench, it's hard to kind of pick against them. So it promises to be a really exciting, intense game in the wee hours of a Thursday night.
It's great, Bart Archer. It's what we look forward to each and every year. It's funny, though, that the afternoon crowd was a little more subdued. This crowd a little bit more engaged.
Yeah, and now they're doing the cell phones with the flashlights and stuff.
The cell phones. Although, if I'm attendee, is that going to be a problem?
Well, you hope not, but
seriously.
Well, attendees are a little unique to begin with.
What does that mean? Is there a certain time they do that?
I have
Guys,
no idea.
Matt Harrington, do you know?
I appreciate you thinking I might know. Well, we're just moments away from the drop of the puck. It's going to be Nevers against Henkenmeyer Howe.
I mean, who decides to do that? It just starts happening.
It's just one guy, and then everybody jumps on.
There are more cell phones on here than you would see at John Bon Jovi's Bed of Roses. That one goes back through the goalmouth area. And it's going to be flipped back in wide of the mark. Jungles somehow just forechecks somebody different every time, and he wins another battle with Kramer.
He doesn't lose many.
That one will make Dave Terwilliger turn over in his sleep. Reiners had a pass that didn't have enough juice on it for Boltman that nearly created all sorts of trouble, but instead it just kind of works its way through center. Spuds now to the offensive zone. Henkenmeyer Howe. Williams. Hard around the wall it goes. Now it's Malmquist with it. Starts it up. At the line, but not out. Played back ahead, Nevers. Oh, nice feed. Malmquist breakaway in on goal. Malmquist, nice save made by Hodges.
Huge save.
4:40 to go in the third. Off Malmquist and back up the ice they go with it. On the move, it's Searles. Or that was Johnson, rather. Now, along with it comes Nevers. He gains the line, and it's 4:20, folks. Well, we're all happy. Now it's the Spuds in control.
I wish it was April 20th.
Well, we're getting 12 inches here, buddy. Jeff, I mean, can you believe this?
No.
What is going on around here?
Right.
Malmquist cuts to the forehand. Matt Harrington's got a week left of school before his spring break. He's going to drive. He's never going to get back. He's just going to stay here. He's quitting.
He's going to shovel.
He's quitting school. He's a professional already.
He's going to come shovel my driveway.
With it. He's going to come. Do you work the snowblower or do you shovel?
I shovel.
Oh,
I need the exercise.
Find you in a snowbank someday. It's going to be played up to the right wing side. Colby touched in front. Chorsky's had so many chances from the low goalmouth area. Either they've just missed the mark or rolled off a stick. That was his best chance of the night. 3.5 to go in the third.
He's made plays off the score sheet, though, tonight. He's played a really solid game.
Well-rounded player. Chipped ahead by Rugemer. Hodges calmly lets this one trickle into his glove hand, and he's going to hang on to this one. Face off to his left.
Well, 3:21 to go in regulation time. It's just a question of when Coach John Ammerman's going to call a timeout. But again, they're going to have to start taking some chances. Well, looks like they are going to take a timeout. Really good time to do that. Just rest everybody, get everybody refocused. 3:21 is plenty of time. Obviously a tall order against the Edina defense. but not beyond the realm of possibility. But we're going to see everything that this Moorhead Spuds team has. But they're going to take some chances. They're going to have to float some people up, and what that'll do is that'll create some space for Edina if they get possession. So possession very important from the Spuds to close out this game.
Well, you know, down at 3-1, it's not as though it's insurmountable for his team, but they got to get one at a time.
Right.
John Amberman's being a little bit animated right now, talking to the team and saying, you know what, you got one last push here, you guys. You got to give it up and figure it out.
Well,
one of the things, the Hornets, though, are they really allowing that?
No, in fact, they're only getting what the Hornets are allowing them. But the Hornets are, you know, and I've said it many, many times through the course of this year, is everybody looks at them as an offensive juggernaut, but they undersell how good this team is defensively. They're a 200-foot, three-zone team, and they go as hard coming back on the back check as they do on the forecheck. And I think that often gets overlooked. So the challenge in front of the Moorhead is not insurmountable. It's a tall order, but it certainly can be done. But it has to start really right now, and it starts with winning this faceoff, getting possession, and moving the puck into the Edina zone.
So we'll face off to the left of Hodges.
And Edina's with Reiners and Boltman, so they have their shutdown defenders back out of the point. So obviously Kurt Giles knows the situation.
Back behind the net, they pushed that one through right off the face-off. I'd have taken that timeout and nullified that. Now to the right wing, here they go with Westra. Scores!
Oh, boy.
Just what Coach John Amperman was talking about. He got what he wished for. This thing now is nail-biting time. Bart Archer, a big goal there for the Moorhead Spuds. It's now 3-2 here late in the third period.
Well, and that's their go-to guy. It was Westra with his 22nd goal, but it was just from the right dot. Went far side on that one. Howe came out to challenge on this one, but nice zone exit by Moorhead. Just a cross-ice pass, gained the zone, got up to the dot, and just went far side and just under the blocker. Big goal, but the complexion of this game has just changed. 3:07 left in regulation. Moorhead down by one, has the energy. Now it's up to the Hornets to respond.
Wow.
Goal number 22 for Westra.
You know, as he shot, Boltman got his stick on the puck, but Westra just muscled it past the Boltman weapon there and just fired it into the back of the net.
Well, and he threaded that needle too, because he didn't have a lot of room for margin for error on that one. So just a good quality shot at the right time.
Now they got some time left. And you know, when you're the Hornets and you've got the Cadets fans in the house, it's going to get extra rough on you. Westra the goal. Now Malmquist checked off the puck, and the Spuds looking to work it through center. That was Johnson, Carter Johnson on the play, but it's going to be picked off the boards on the right wing side by Morlicki. Malmquist now for Chorsky. He carries this one down the right wing side, cuts his angle back to the right side. Quick one-timer, misses the mark by Vorlicki. Here they come back out of the zone. The Spuds, 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Cross the line. Vorlicki comes away with it. He'll be watched on the play by Henkenmeyer Howe. And now Delaney pokes it up through center. Backpedaling are the Spuds in their own zone. They trail by one at 3-2. Henkenmeyer Howe, backdoor. Oh, and Hogue makes the save of the century. They had the top shelf. That was going in. He goes from left to right, jumps with the blocker pad, makes a beauty, and keeps it 3-2.
Biggest save of the year.
Oh, my word. Now they'll play this one off the boards. Here they come again. The Spuds coming in waves now across the line, feeling it with Jess. That one through the slot area. Whacked back into the corner now. Edina in control. Reiners with it. Plays that one ahead as he was watched on the play. And that's going to be wide of the mark with 1:26. We'll keep our eye on Hodges, of course, for you as we get to goaltender pulling time right now. Boltman will play this one down. Back in behind the net. Hodges sets up. It's going to be on the stick of Gunkel as they play this one off the right wing wall. There he goes. There's a shot. Glove save and a beauty. Hogue takes it on his 2 feet, looks it right in like another day at the office.
Well, Hodge is now out of the goal for Moorhead, but that was another big save. I think there was some confidence that brewed off that initial save of the day right there. But nice glove save. That was ticketed for the upper corner just under the bar, so really a big save. But they put Hodges back in about halfway out or along the hash marks. A little bit surprising on that with the success they've had in the face-off dots, but 1:05 left to go. Plenty of time for Moorhead, but it's going to be a long 1:05 for the Edina Hornets.
Sure, goaltender coach Josh Harding feeling really good about his young goaltender. Hodges, I like that. Get possession before you pull your goaltender. So many guys don't do that.
I like it too.
And now he's off the ice again. Oh, that's in front. Boltman calmly plays that through the legs of the right wing side from the low goal mouth area. That could have been trouble. Empty net now. Kramer with it. Plays it to the right wing side in front of the net area. Boy, the Spuds, if they could have found this energy level for, the better part of the game, they'd be in really good shape. Chipped ahead now. Here's Delaney. He can snipe across the line. Delaney scores! Kevin Delaney. And the Hornets take the 4-2 lead.
Well, and that obviously 28.7 not beyond the realm of possibility, but unlikely that Moorhead can come back from a 2-goal deficit. And for Delaney, that's his 19th goal. Showed good patience on that. It was a one-on-one battle in the neutral zone. He just made the defense commit, put it between his legs, and it went down into the open goal. So Edina up by 2 now in the waning moments of this third period. It looks like they're going to move on, barring something miraculous happening for this Spuds team. But you have to love the resolve of this Moorhead team to come back, cut it within 1, and actually put some good shots on goal. They could have tied it, but Loudon Hogue answered the bell when he needed to.
Center ice face-off with 26 to go in the third. Spuds now will regroup in their own zone with Gunkel. They'll look back up through center. Looks like they're destined to play at Mariucci tomorrow at 10 o'clock against Lakeville South. Edina moving on. Against the loser of the next game coming up. Lakeville South, of course, playing White Bear Lake tomorrow at 10. They'll have the noon game, will the Spuds. And that'll do it. The Edina Hornets come up with a big win. That one by a score of 4-2. Hard fought here. They outshoot the Moorhead Spuds by a margin of 36-20.
Well, and they had possession, almost a 2-1 margin as well. But when Moorhead seemed to get their mojo and get a little confidence, they seemed to find the passing lanes, get it to the open player. But again, it was Loudon Hogue, I think, that really made the saves when he needed to make the saves. That's going to be a confidence builder for that young man moving forward. But congratulations to the Edina Hornets. They bested a pretty good squad tonight. But we appreciate the effort from the Moorhead Spuds. They showed up and played and provided a lot of entertainment.
31 minutes separates us from the start of the Spuds. The Hounds. Jeez, Bart Archer.
Well, it's
the
been a long
Hounds of
day,
Duluth
Pete Wagner.
East and the Cadets of St. Thomas Academy. What a hockey game between these two teams. It was Edina at their finest, and then Moorhead pushing back when they needed to. Bart, it was an entertaining hockey game.
Showed a lot of character, but I really like that timeout and how Coach Ammerman really kind of utilized that just to refocus the guys, build their confidence a little bit, give them a direction, give them some focus, but just let them do a reset. They came down, scored right away, and changed the complexion of this game. But Edina, with that defensive core held firm, and final line of defense, Loudon Hogue really played a nice game tonight.
4-2, 4-2. 4-2, 3-2, 4-2 have been your scores here. That's really good stuff.
This is state tournament hockey.
We're talking, 5-goal differential between 3 games?
Well,
I'll take it.
It's a different season. Not a lot of room to move out there. It's the team that can create has a greater chance for success tonight. It was Edina.
We'll take a timeout. We'll be back on the air with another link coming up in about 30 minutes. The Hounds and the Cadets. That's going to be a good one. So long, everybody.